Welcome back to New Hampshire International Speedway. Time for the AutoZone Race Analysis, brought to you by the more than 1,600 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. There you see the 42-car starting field. Only Billy Standridge failing to qualify among the 43 who checked in here on Friday. We're closing in on the command to fire engines shortly.
All across America, you're there to see us through.
Racing engines endure severe stress, and your engine does too. That's why, under severe service driving conditions, Jiffy Lube recommends service every 3,000 miles. And we offer Pennzoil.
3,000 miles, you make us smile. America's Jiffy Lube.
Jiffy Lube, America's favorite oil change.
This is for my grandmother, who showed me what real courage is, and for myself, who found it.
It started the moment I got here. The word can't vanished. This was the advanced training I came in for. I'm proud of who I am. I'm a soldier.
Let us lift our eyes toward the challenges that await us in the next century.
They shape what we say and what we feel. They teach and inspire us. They rise to power and fall from grace. They are who we see when we look in the mirror. Our idols. Our demons. And now they've got their own network. CBS Eye on People. Available on cable and satellite.
Get a tough case of athlete's foot, and you're benched. You get that itching, the cracking, the burning. That's when you want a medicine that acts tough. Boom! Tough Actin Tenactin. It cures even tough cases of athlete's foot. Get Tough Actin Tenactin.
Now at Pep Boys, get any 4 of our 35,000-mile all-season steel-belted tires at an incredible low $99. That's right, any size, any 4 35,000-mile tires, just $99. At Pep Boys, now.
Saturday night on TNN Motorsports. It's a high-speed, wide-open battle in the dirt as the Pennzoil World of Outlaws crown their sprint car czar.
I want to be king.
Plus, there's $50,000 waiting for the winner.
You don't want to miss this race.
It's the 15th annual Kings Royal, live from Eldora Speedway. Join Steve Evans and Ralph Shaheen Saturday night at 9 Eastern, 8 Central, only on TNN Motorsports.
Welcome back, everybody, as the field has just been given the command to fire the engines. The Honorable Governor of New Hampshire, the Grand Marshal today, Governor Gene Shaheen. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for you for today's Jiffy Lube 300. Kenny Schrader, we've talked so much about him already today, and Bobby Hamilton, who qualified second a year ago as well. Ricky Craven, last year's pole winner, starts third today, and Chad Little matching his career best start in NASCAR Winston Cup racing. There's Dale Jarrett, has a second and a fourth here. Steve Grissom's first start in the top 20 since Bristol, Tennessee. Kyle Petty's Pontiac, 7th at Daytona a week ago. I'm the Daytona winner, John Andretti. And guys, how about Jerry Nadeau? How tough is it to do what he did, Buddy Baker, to showing up here like this and get into the top 10?
Nearly impossible, but I tell you, this kid has a lot of ability. I look for him to do well today.
Of course, Terry Labonte is alongside. Ernie Irvin is the 1996 winner. Rusty Wallace, the inaugural winner here at New Hampshire International. Sterling Marlin, best finish of 97, was that third last week at Daytona. Jeff Bodine is alongside. Jeff Burton, Dick, that's a great story. The super speedway point leader this year.
Yeah, one of 3 Roush teammates. Strong runner, and outside him, another teammate, Mark Martin.
Bobby Labonte, a top 10 finish in the last 3 races, and Ricky Rudd, the 1994 winner of this event. Joe Nemechek, he won the push pole out of California. How about old DW? Is he ever hot? Now he has led at least 1 lap in the last 6 races.
Morning motor change, though.
Morning motor change, something to watch as this day continues. There's David Green and Jeremy Mayfield in row number 11. Row 12 has Bill Elliott and Rick Mast, who was 9th here in 1994. We've talked of the Roush teams. There's the 3rd member on the grid, Ted Musgrave, and Dale Earnhardt, winless now in 43 starts. Mike Skinner, a 2-time Daytona pole winner. We've never been able to say that about a Winston Cup rookie before, buddy.
I just think Skinner has all the tools. He's going through the first year of racing in Winston Cup and this particular race team. He's learning every time he goes out. Look for him to do great.
Old Dick Trickle came close to a top 5 a weekend ago. Jeff Gordon, as we mentioned, his lowest starting spot since May of '94. We'll see how it bodes for him today. And there's Jimmy Spencer from Berwick, Pennsylvania. Derek Cope. He's won here in a NASCAR Busch Series machine. Did so in 1994. And Johnny Benson was 9th here a year ago. Michael Waltrip for the Wood Brothers. They always finish in the top 10, the Wood Brothers do here in New Hampshire. And Jeff Green, who has run 3 Busch Series races here. Ward Burton, he's still banged up. I know you guys had a chance to see him today. He's kind of walking a little gingerly after those Daytona injuries.
Yeah, the ribs in particular are bothering him. He's running taped up today.
Kenny Wallace won here in a Busch Series race in 1991. Canadian Randy McDonald from Oshawa, Ontario, Canada. Morgan Shepherd, second here in 1995. And then the final 4 starting spots, Brett Bodine, who told us on our telecast yesterday, in hindsight, he never should have gone back out for second round Busch Bowl qualifying. There you see the remaining starters. Robbie Gordon qualified in 40th, but he missed driver introductions today. So he'll go from 40th to 42nd starting spot. He'll go shotgun on the field. And there you have the field as they take shape for today's running of the Jiffy Lube 300. A lot of cameras for you today. Jerry Nadeau will be driving you around the speedway. All excited, but just tickled to be where he is with a ton of family members on hand here. Mark Martin, of course, always runs well here. As you mentioned, he's finished 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Last year he finished 33rd. We'll throw that one out as an anomaly, but move on. He'll be with us. Darrell Waltrip, as he said, has now led at least 1 lap in each of the last 6 laps, or last 6 races, I should say. That's going to be the close-up in-car camera for you. Mike Skinner.
3,500.
From 27th spot, he'll be giving us a good ride up through the field. Herman the German. Kenny Wallace starting 36th in the Square D entry. And the Super Speedway Racer of the Year, Jeff Burton, with more points on the big tracks than anybody else. He, too, carries our onboard cameras here today. Field is getting the 1-to-go signal as we make one quick run up and down the pit lane. Matt Yoakum.
Guys, tires will be a big story today. The reason they're wearing so well. Guys like Dale Earnhardt and Jeff Gordon starting outside of the top 25. They're going to probably make a 2-tire stop on the first round of pit stops for track position. It is very key here at Loudon. A lot of green flag runs. So a lot of teams looking for 2-tire stops in that first round. They're hoping to go maybe around lap 80 to 85.
You might be seeing 2-tire stops more than just in the first round of pit stops.
Yeah, track position is so absolutely critical here. They're going to spend as little time in the pits as possible.
Well, we're looking at manufacturer's breakdown here. We have Ford with 121 points now, and 19 of them in the field, 15 Chevrolets, and 8 Pontiacs.
Well, there's how it all breaks down, and we are about a half lap away from going green. Kenny Schrader is on the pole, 19th career pole, first in the last 66 attempts for him. That's since June of '95, a couple of years ago at Pocono International Raceway. And again, Robert Presley came home in 5th spot in that number 33 Skoll car a year ago.
All right, be getting ready, Mike. Pace car's getting ready to come off, buddy. Be getting ready.
Spotters talking to their drivers. The jam-packed grandstands looking on. Here we go. Glad you're with us on TNN.
Get ready.
Ready, 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 ready.
Green.
And they gun it, and off they go into turn number 1, the first of 300 laps. $12 degrees of banking in the corners. 3 degrees on the straightaways. The streets are 1,500 feet long.
Eli, look at Ricky Craven up. He's taking 2nd place away from Bobby Hamilton as they come off the corner down the front straightaway.
Caution, problems with Brett Bodine and Ward Burton. A 3rd machine also spinning off to the inside. That's Derek Cope, who's also there. So on lap number 1, you've got the close calls phone card entry for Brett Bodine. And just saw a flash of flame there, huh, buddy?
Just a flash. I don't know what it was, but you see the crew going over to see what's going on there.
So Brett Bodine, Ward Burton, and Derek Cope all involved in this first lap tangle. There are the problems on the MBNA Pontiac.
That does not look too bad there on Ward Burton's car. You can see the left rear corner just behind the wheels hurt, but the spoiler's in place.
Let's go back, fellas, see exactly what happened. Let's watch here.
Well, that's Derek Cope in the 36 there. He's down on the grass there and spins back up. You see these guys, that's chain reaction. When everybody backs off, everybody starts collecting each other.
So Derek was the first one to go, actually. And then everybody else reacting behind them with Ward Burton and Brett Bodine. So caution on the speedway for the first time. A year ago, we had 8 caution flags for 49 laps. Today it's starting early.
The Pontiac Firebird waits. 305 horsepower comes to life. Ram air induction turns air into fuel in a rush. Firebird, you're ready to fly.
I get my license next month. When I was a kid, I figured that there was no way that thing was gonna be around when I turned 16. I wanted it to die so bad. It broke down a couple times, and I was like, yes! But Dad would go to Napa, get whatever 1970s parts he needed, and boom, that leisure suit on wheels would be back on the road again. He made me a deal last week.
Get straight A's, and you can drive your mom's car.
Thanks, Napa.
Hi, honey.
Somebody make it stop.
TNN Motorsports live coverage of the Jiffy Lube 300 is brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. At Napa, we keep America running. Well, 1 lap in the books, and there is the result. Caution is on the speedway. We'll take a look again from the in-car camera that Kenny Wallace is carrying aboard the Square D4. Let's see if we have a better look, Steve.
Oh. We certainly know what happened to Ward Burton just then. He certainly got hit by Kenny Wallace as they headed into the corner, but that was after the spin of Derek Cope. Everybody was checking up, and
in close quarters racing, I'm not sure that Derek might not have gotten hit also. I mean,
yeah, it could have happened that way.
Tough to tell. Now you see where Donnie Richardson has the crew working on Brett Bodine's machine. 3 laps in.
That was one of those interstate crashes, wasn't it? Somebody slows down, the guy behind him can't, and the guy behind him can't, and all of a sudden, bang, 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 and that's what we had here.
Real early, Glenn Jarrett.
Well, it is, Eli, and you know, you always hate to see a caution early for whomever it's for, but there were about 20 guys out there. Really glad to see that caution, and those are the guys that were in the outside lane. What this does is we'll start the field single file now, get them all down on the bottom groove where they were trying to get to. Had already seen a couple of cars falling backwards in the field because they could not get down. We talked about track position. That's where it is, on the bottom of this racetrack on that new pavement.
Beautiful scenery around New Hampshire International Speedway. The countryside here is gorgeous. Of course, NASCAR's been running in New England for a long, long time. Thompson Speedway in Connecticut, 1951. Was the very first time NASCAR ran there. Neil Cole picked up that victory. It's been a long time since NASCAR's had a major presence here in New England, ever since 51. A lot of work going on the 22 car, Steve.
Eli, Ward Burton is in. I talked to crew chief Chris Hussey. He said they flat spotted their tires as he stalls the car. A lot of heavy damage to the left rear quarter panel. Also, to update you on Brett Bodine, he's got problems with his radiator and the oil cooler. They're going to try and get him fixed and back on pit road. And Derek Cope is back on the racetrack.
Eli, I'd love to see the 22 Ward Burton have a little bit of luck. He's had a string of terrible luck lately and been involved in many, many wrecks.
He really has. Hopefully he'll be able to recover here today. Heavy downforce needed on this racetrack to make you run well. We're under caution. Lap number 5.
At Pennzoil, we know brutal driving doesn't just take place on a racetrack. It begins at the end of your driveway. You stop, you go. You stop, you go. If this reminds you of your commute, we recommend you use Pennzoil motor oil. Pennzoil, formulated for today's stop-and-go driving.
Morning, Bob. Morning, Henry.
Stop, go, Pennzoil.
we made the first battery to start the automobile. The first to handle the moon's sub-zero temperatures. And today, the extreme demands of professional racing. Now, Exide's put all this experience into a battery so advanced, it's the official battery of NASCAR. Introducing the Exide NASCAR Select. It's specially designed and built to combat vibration and extreme temperature. So it's built to survive those grueling trips you'll be taking. The Exide NASCAR Select, making history again.
This week on Motor Trend, we present the 97 Import Car of the Year. Plus, we'll look back at the hot Dodge Charger RT. Motor Trend Television, today at 5:30 on TNN Motorsports.
My fellow Americans, I am not a crook. CMT wants you to decide which videos are the best ever. It's free.
It's easy.
It's free and easy. All you have to do to vote is go to the phone and call 1-888-CMT-POLL and tell us your favorite video of all time. Do it for your country.
Do it for our country.
Find out the winner Labor Day weekend. If I were you, I'd vote for me.
Doesn't matter who you vote for, as long as I win.
TNN Motorsports, covering more live racing events than any other network, presents flag-to-flag and fender-to-fender coverage of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. These power-packed pickups and their teams race for big-time bucks. Don't look back. These guys give new meaning to the word tailgating. Live, it's the Lund Look 275, Sunday, July 27th, 2 Eastern, 11 Pacific on TNN Motorsports.
The field has just now gotten the green flag. Back racing here at New Hampshire International Speedway with Kenny Schrader showing the way over Bobby Hamilton. Good scramble now for the 4th position behind the front 2 as Dale Jarrett makes a move around Chad Little, takes over the 4th spot. Just outgunned him going into the corner.
Had a good run on the backstretch. That helped a whole lot. That big, powerful Yates motor is a great asset at a racetrack like this with these big, long straightaways where coming out of the hole with a lot of power will make a big difference to a driver.
That's Buddy's line. He always says, yeah, they handle well in the straightaway. Sterling Marlin seems to be a bit off the pace now. Looked as though he almost lost it in the corner. Glenn, what are you hearing?
Elon's standing there close to turn 1. He just went in the corner on the outside and got up out of the groove, and he got in the loose stuff, and you just about have to stop, get the car back down on that groove pavement down at the bottom, and you lose 8, 10, 12 positions. That's all it was.
Sterling has gone back to 18th spot, and here's what happened. Just watch the Kodak colors, that orange machine.
Well, he gets a little nudge there from Jeff Burton as they go through the corner there. You can see Jeff's car kick out and touch Sterling, moving him out of the groove, which is the low part of the racetrack, and making him a little bit loose.
It's amazing how you get to the marbles when that happens.
Yeah, it don't take much. The car is already on the right front pretty hard in the back flight getting in the corner. 9
laps complete of 300. This track is just a tick over a mile around, 1.058. So the 300 laps today is 317.4 miles. If you're curious about Dale Earnhardt, he's all the way up to 15th spot now. There he is in the number 3 machine. Remember, Dale started way back in 26th, up to 15th now. There you see the progression he's made. The plus, by the way, if you're not familiar and didn't see that paint job at Michigan, the word plus there on the hood of Earnhardt is a new program being offered by Mr. Goodwrench across the country. It gives you, for a couple of extra dollars, some added backup from Mr. Goodwrench at different service locations.
One of the pluses he has today is that is a brand new race car. First time on the racetrack was right here at New Hampshire. It looks like it's going just great. So is Schrader. Look at the nice job he's doing. And Bobby Hamilton.
Eli, look, going down into turn 1. Bobby Hamilton's looking on the inside of Schrader. Does he have enough room?
He tries to as Kenny kicks out. Hamilton for the lead.
Now, the one thing Schrader has to do is protect that inside line. He didn't do it. Craven moves in the second. Now watch Jarrett move up. Just about contact there between Dale Jarrett and Schrader as they come off the corner. He needs to get on the inside of the racetrack. He's losing spot.
There goes Jarrett moving by. And he gets in line just ahead of Chad Little in the 97. So Schrader goes back in line to the 4th spot now. Bobby Hamilton, the race leader, third time this year he has led. And you see Ernie Irvan now working himself up towards the front, up from 8th to 7th position now. How about Brett Bodine? What's going on down in the garage?
Eli, the guys are just thrashing down here. Here's the radiator that they took out of Brett's car. Their biggest problem now is they have to make room. The shroud that goes over top the radiator has been pushed in. They've had to replace lines. As you can see, they're taking lines apart. They're going to try and make room for the new radiator. Brett Bodine can do little but sit dejectedly inside of his race car.
Our broadcast partner from yesterday behind the wall here early in New Hampshire today.
You can see Ernie Irvan give Grissom just a little touch there, just enough to make him look up in the mirror, miss his line just a little bit. And look at the cars coming under Grissom. That's what the outside line's good for. Once you get out there, you lose 3, 4, 5 positions.
Jerry Labonte in the 5 goes by. The 98 Andretti goes by. You're riding with Jerry Nadeau as he tries to go by Steve Grissom. Been one of those years for Grissom, too. If it could go wrong, it has gone wrong. They just have trouble finishing races. What a departure from years past.
It is a much, much, much better race team than their finishing record shows. And once they get it all together so they can run the whole race without some strange stuff happening, they will begin to score. All the right people and all the right pieces are in place for that number 41 team.
Nadeau can't quite make the pass. And Grissom will outpower him to the corner to get back in line. So Grissom goes back to 9th spot, Nadeau in 10th. We showed you Earnhardt moving up earlier. There is Jeff Gordon, who has had a tougher time moving up. Remember, Jeff started in 29th. He is now 27th.
Driving.
So he's only picked up a couple of spots.
Yeah, he's driving Bruiser today. This is not Blacker that has won all of those races, but Bruiser did win the race at Martinsville earlier this year. The game plan today, track position. Ray Evernham said this morning that what they are going to try to do is to get up front as soon as they can and stay up there. This is such a tough track to pass on that the strategy many teams are using is to try to pass in the pits.
And Bill Elliott tried to muscle his way around Dick Trickle. What do you... Oh, there goes Gordon now.
I don't think so. Bill's running extremely well down the straightaway. You see Gordon looking to the inside there. Bill takes that bottom lane back there, so Jeff has no decision to make, but just drop back on the bottom of the racetrack and go along with him.
But Elliott's in 26, Steve Byrne. What are you hearing from the crew?
Eli, I talked to Mike Beam yesterday, and he was just literally throwing his hands up in despair. The fact that they're running good now is a surprise. They had no practice yesterday morning. They blew a motor. Mike said they had plans for changes. That all went out the window. In fact, last week he had a spark plug wire come off at Daytona. Mike Beam said in 20 years of racing, I've never had that happen. They're hoping their luck changes here today.
So that ongoing run between Trickle, who had a top 5 in store last week before that problem near the end of the race, Elliott and Gordon.
As we watch these guys start off the corner, you can see that Jeff Gordon is a little quicker off the corner. Bill Elliott making a move on Dick Trickle down towards turn 1. I don't think he can get by. Dick Trickle running very well.
Trickle's still hurting from that accident he took at Daytona last weekend. He really had the double whammy of having the flu and also got hurt on top of it. And he said, you know, a body could try to fix one thing, but to try to fix both the flu and the hurt from Daytona, it's been tough. He's in much, much, much better shape right now than he was last weekend, but he's still not 100%.
Now let's take you back towards 14th spot right there. Bodine, Jeff in the 7, Earnhardt in the 3, Jerry Nadeau, who started 9th, he's in the 1, can't get back in line, and Jeff Burton won't let him in line either. Working lap 21 of 300. Bobby Hamilton is still the leader with Ricky Craven in 2nd, but the lead is spread out rather significantly. It's now nearly a full second. That's why we're staying with the battle here in the middle of the pack. Ricky Rudd, a former winner here, battling Nadeau for 18th. If you're a Morgan Shepherd fan, he's made an unscheduled pit stop. He is back on the racetrack now after stopping at lap number 21.
Jeff Bodine in the 7th, running in 13th spot. And given his success this year, that seems the appropriate place. What a tough year Bodine has had with engine problems and crashes and all the rest of it. Says he's got it together, that his team is kind of be revitalized with some new help, and he's going to be all set, going to be able to keep on racing for at least 3 more years. He'd like to see his son Barry take a shot at it.
They are in the process of restructuring the team. There's Dale Earnhardt running in 14th. Matt Yoakum is in Earnhardt's pit.
Eli, if you remember back to last year, Larry McReynolds and Ernie Irvin got back to victory lane here at Loudon. Larry since have gone on to work for Dale Earnhardt with the killers. Earnhardt said, you know what, that 28 car was a killer. What'd you guys have here last year? Larry said, well, we had a drop snout Laughlin. He goes, get one. So they bought one over the winter, but because of the Daytona wreck, they did not have a chance to get it completely built. So they skipped the short track season, making its debut here today. And the difference is a drop snout lets the car turn a little bit easier on flatter tracks. It's kind of like when you're on the interstate, you go to one of those big sweeping corners and the car just wants to dive down. That's kind of what a drop snout does for these drivers on flat tracks here at Loudon.
There's the race leader, Bobby Hamilton, and as you saw the visual moments ago, Dale Jarrett has moved around Ricky Craven to take over the 2nd spot. Bobby Hamilton, what a mixed bag this year. He finished an average of 11th in the first 8 races of the year. But now he's finishing an average of 26th in the next 8 races. Maybe he can turn that around here in New Hampshire today.
Valvoline, school's never out. Take the wheel on the new Valvoline website. It's worth the ride.
In Denton, Texas, a lot of folks who work on their cars go to AutoZone because they know they're going to find quality parts, low prices, great selection, and good people like Tom Robinson. You see, Tom's the kind of guy who really likes to help folks out. And since he's been around cars most all his life, he knows his parts, too. Oh, sure, there are other parts stores in town, but when it comes to getting the right part, the right price, and good advice from folks like Tom, there's just no place better than AutoZone.
Come on, lady. Get in the road. Come on now.
Monsoon, a premium audio system. You turn it up and get drenched. Available in select new cars and trucks like the Pontiac Firebird and the Hummer. Monsoon, power, attitude, audio for the road.
Why does Tums control acid faster than Pepsid AC? Because they work on your stomach acid in totally different ways. Tums Calcium naturally rapidly neutralizes acid so it works fast. Pepsid AC's famotidine has to travel through your bloodstream, so it takes at least 40 minutes to block natural acid production. So why does Tums work on acid faster and cost less, and Pepsid AC works slower and costs more?
Good question.
Tums. You can experience country.com, your personal source for all things country. From race cars to country stars, connect to country.com. On the motorsports side of things, you'll read all about that 30-lap pass right there by Dale Jarrett on Bobby Hamilton as he assumes the lead here at the New Hampshire International Speedway. You know, you talk about turnarounds here of late. You talk about how Dale Jarrett has gone. You realize he had finished 27th or worse in 3 straight races. And now all of a sudden he goes 4 consecutive top 10 finishes. I mean, it's been talk about an up and down. That's a classic example.
He's got a tough race car here today, Eli. This is the car that he used at Rockingham and at Richmond. He finished 2nd and 3rd in those 2 races, but led the most laps in both of them. And incredibly, it's the same car Davey Allison almost won with here at New Hampshire.
And the other thing, when the racetrack is banked like this, there's no better than Dale Jarrett. You watch him at Milwaukee when he runs there, he's always up front.
Right.
You go to Pocono, he's always up front. He makes the car turn in the center part of the corner, giving him a great advantage.
And Bobby Hamilton, as you see, now 3 car lengths back. What are they saying in the STP pits? Any concerns, or is Jarrett just that much stronger?
No, Eli, they're content to let him go by right now. This team has been excited about this car. Bobby Hamilton has 2 top 5 finishes this year. They came at Martinsville and Richmond, and they have the same race car here today.
Best super speedway finish of the year was the 10th at Atlanta early in the season for the STP Pontiac.
It's an interesting setup that they put in that car. They started out with what Richard Petty thought should be the correct setup, and then they have just tweaked it for Bobby Hamilton to try to get the fine tuning for him. But it's really Richard Petty's setup, and he's been here all weekend working with that car.
34 of 300 laps on the board. Jarrett, Hamilton, Ricky Craven is third. And there you see Ernie Irvan closing in. He's on the move. And what do you think on the clock? Might be the quickest guy out there.
I guarantee you, if it continues under green very long, Robert Yates will have 2 cars, first and second.
MCI bringing you NASCAR timing and scoring updates across the top of the screen. This is going to be a good battle shaping up here for 3rd spot. Everybody in the Yates pits looking on, including Glenn Jarrett.
Yeah, guys, I'm watching him stand again. I'm down here in turn 1. I'm watching Ernie get into turn, and I don't think there's anybody that's getting in turn 1 any better than he is right now. He gains almost all of the distance that he makes up on Ricky Craven running right in front of him and getting into the corner. He just drives the car in and lets it drift up just a little bit and then turns it back down. He is really flying. There he goes by Craven into 1 right now as we speak.
And Powers right by him. And I guess not to be redundant, buddy, but we need to say again that brakes here not only slow the car down, but set the car in the corner.
We're looking at the defending champion. They found something on his car, and you're exactly right. When you go down there, you use a lot of brakes. He has his car where it'll turn and stay down on the bottom of the racetrack. Ernie Irvan has a winning race car. Now, how he protects it today, we'll see.
Of course, Robert Yates, 1st and 2nd last year, with the 28 and the 88 in that order here at Loudon.
Ernie's using a different setup from last year. The front clip, as we've talked about, is a bit different than what they had before on that race car. So it's not the same setup, but it's the same driver, and he sure does well here at New Hampshire.
Of course, Ricky Rudder likes these flat tracks. Told me yesterday, or Friday, I guess it was, he said, you know, the first time I was here when I had a good run, he said I had a standard snout car, then a drop snout. What do you have this time? He said, I'd rather not say. But Ricky was confident, too, and, of course, it's still early here. He's running in 17th spot. There you see Mark Martin and Rudd in the picture now. There on the right side. Jeff Bodine sandwiched in the middle as you ride with Mark Martin at 16.
Eli, you'd hate to run 300 miles and not learn anything. That's what they do. When they go back home, they compare notes, they look at what made it work, and they do a little refinement on what they have. But this car has to be better or they'd have brought the other one back.
Bodine in the middle of this thing is very definitely a local favorite. He ran an awful lot here in New England in the modifieds. Never ran a modified at this racetrack. This place wasn't even built before he left and went south to make a name for himself and his fortune in Winston Cup racing. But they sure remember him winning on a Friday night, a Saturday night, and a Sunday night at places like Thompson and Stafford and Lee, New Hampshire.
That red #1 Armstrong car.
He was tough,
oh,
I tell you.
They'd point and say that's the guy to beat.
Yeah, and they booed him too. If you think they boo Jeff Gordon now, you should have heard him boo Jeff Bodine back in those days.
Who was called Bodine back in those days.
A lot of other things too that we couldn't mention on the air.
That's right. 40 laps in the books, 260 remaining. Up front, Dale Jarrett, who took the lead at lap number 31, pulls away from second place Bobby Hamilton by 1 2/10 seconds. We're early in the Jiffy Lube 300.
Engine builders are a different breed. A racing engine is a masterpiece. Anyone that has a Robert Yates engine under the hood, man, they feel like they're one up on anybody. Nothing more satisfying than having the engine do its job. He's the innovator, no question. He can make them fast and make them last.
Andretti and Yates rely on the same Haviland Formula 3 motor oil you can buy right off the shelf. And also try Haviland Extended Life Antifreeze.
She's a real beauty, Robert.
Got a driver, Mario.
At Pep Boys, save $20 on our premium brake service. Our ASE certified technicians will install Ray Bestis lifetime brakes for $79.99 after rebate. Get brakes installed for only $79.99. Pep Boys, everything but gas. Too hot in your car? At Pep Boys, our ASE certified technicians can repair your R12 or the new R134A air conditioning systems. Whether you need refrigerant, parts, or expert service, we have it all. Pep Boys, everything but gas.
Fire up the grill and ice down the drinks. Because guess who's coming over to play?
TNN's cooking up one hot and spicy barbecue.
Woo!
You and 50 friends are going to chow down with Travis Tritt in your own backyard. Just send in a postcard with your name, address, and phone number to Travis Tritt Backyard Concert Sweepstakes. TNN Station, Post Office Box 3534, Southbury, Connecticut 06488.
It's going to be one kicking country party.
And if that's not enough to get your coals in a glow,
I'm bringing the tunes.
Travis will rock your barbecue with a live concert, plus $5,000 to boot.
Sounds like a party to me.
So enter TNN's Travis Tritt Backyard Concert Sweepstakes today. Brought to you by Shell. Co-sponsored by the Louisiana Office of Tourism. Receive a free travel brochure just for entering. Plus, prizes provided by the Louisiana Office of Tourism and Euro-America Sidecar Motorcycle.
He's one of the most amazing stories in motorsports history. In a span of less than 3 seasons, he went from rookie contender to Winston Cup champion. He beat the odds by winning races against drivers twice his age and experience. Check out NASCAR's newest superstar. From his first race to the pinnacle of Winston Cup racing, it's a 1-hour on-board presentation of Jeff Gordon Wide Open. July 23rd at 10 Eastern, 9 Central on TNN Motorsports.
Dale Jarrett is the race leader here at New Hampshire International Speedway. His Robert Yates teammate now in second spot, as moments ago he made the pass around Bobby Hamilton to grab the position. Here's how it happened.
Let's watch them go down. As they come out of turn 2 there, you can see Ernie get position on the inside. Now watch this car about 3/4 of the way down, just rocket by. Bobby Hamilton gives way, knows this early in the race, let's don't run side by side, getting in the corner.
We should point out, though, that the lead for Jarrett over at that man, Ernie Irvin, is now 2 2/10 seconds. So Jarrett has managed to power away just a bit from Ernie Irvin. Mark Reno is the crew chief for Ernie Irvin. Let's get an update from that pit.
And we're all smiles down here at Robert Yates Racing as they have the first 2 cars in the pack. And Mark, we're watching Ernie get in the corners. What did you guys do to that car? That thing really gets in the corners, I think, better than anybody out there.
Well, we utilized our happy hour yesterday real well, and we got the car handling pretty good. To be honest with you, it's not as good as we want it to be right now. We're going to make some adjustments on it. And first chance, and right now he's doing a real good job. And if it wasn't for our teammate, I guess we'd be leading.
Well, that's interesting. It could get better. Matt Yoakum?
Well, Glenn, they're utilizing a guy in their shop named Don Letarte. This is an in-house Yates chassis program. They were going to start it in 1998, but Ernie had a couple of crashes earlier in the season, so said, well, let's put the car in action now. So what Don did was take a Laughlin chassis, a bare Laughlin, cut it up, put it to their own points and different measurements. This is the car that he ran at Charlotte, was killing the field with until I believe he had a motor problem and fell out. But they said that this car is so good, Dale Jarrett wants one, and one is being built as we speak for hopefully running the short track season as we hit the fall season coming up.
So there are the stories from inside Robert Yates Racing as Jeff Green in the Cartoon Network entry is about to be bypassed. Green is running in 33rd spot.
A few laps ago, Buddy Baker, you said that the 8 cars were going to be running 1-2. You got any tips on the lottery for us? Can you help us?
That was pretty obvious. They're very quick this early in the race, but don't forget, folks, when they start adjusting on all these race cars, things might change.
You saw Brett Bodine back on pit road. He is out there now after spending 43 laps behind the wall. The lead for Jarrett is still 2.5 seconds. 2.56 over Ernie Irvin. There's John Andretti in the 98. The 5 is Terry Labonte. Andretti all smiles all weekend after his win at Daytona last Saturday. 52 laps on the board. There's Dale Earnhardt running in the 12th spot. Some folks up here thought they saw a little smoke from behind the GM Goodwrench number 3. Let's ride with Jeff Burton and see. I don't know if I can see it. Maybe you guys can at home.
Well, it looks pretty good. You can see the back panel on the car, and usually if they're smoking, it'll have a lot of oil on the back panel there as he comes off the corner. I couldn't see any oil on the back of the car at all.
Well, looks good so far.
Yeah, it looks pretty clean.
Might have been a little tire smoke going through the corners.
Those tires getting a good grip on a newly repaved turn. If you're with us in years past, you know that the turns here in New Hampshire had a problem. They were rolling up just a bit, a lot of marbles, and the Bayer family went to the Caribbean nation of Trinidad. You've heard of Trinidad and Tobago? They went to Trinidad to get Trinidad Lake rock, out of which they manufactured that black strip you see on the inside of the racetrack, the newly repaved area. Leave it to the Bears to go to Trinidad. Matter of fact, we talked about that with Gary Bear on one of our previous visits here, and he says he'll wait and see how it works.
Changed the mix a little bit and used a Trinidad Lake asphalt from Trinidad and Tobago. It stiffened it up an awful lot. Made it through the winter very nicely. The engineers, frankly, were more concerned about that it'd be so brittle in the cold that it would snap. We had to cover it, protect it, keep it insulated throughout the winter months. Came through nicely. We hope, really, really hope that we've got the solution. We believe we do, but we're not going to be satisfied until July 14th. You know, when the proof's in the pudding.
And of course, it'll be tomorrow when everybody is able to look back at all that transpired here today. Kyle Petty, Rusty Wallace, Jeff Burton, Dale Earnhardt in order. That is 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th as you ride with Jeff Burton looking forward. Rusty's on the move there in the number 2. Rusty and Kyle got together, it seems, just about a lap ago. Watch this.
Whoa,
yeah,
boy.
sure did.
Good catch, Kyle. Woo. You see Dale Earnhardt
and you
getting
see
a little
Burton,
sideways, too.
You see Burton just clearing out of the way there.
I tell you, you get any sort of a problem here, and they are just all over it, aren't they? It's like, like a wounded animal in the woods. They're all, I want your spot.
10th and 11th swapping around right there. Rusty. Burton. Here goes Mark Martin around Kyle Petty, who can't get back in line. We've seen this scenario before. Can Earnhardt make the pass now?
I'd say Earnhardt has the preferred line as they head down into turn 1. You'll see Kyle just kind of give way, let him go, drop in behind him, and do the best he can until they can adjust on the car on the pit stop.
See how nice and smooth Earnhardt is going into that corner. I mean, just sort of drifting with it, dancing with the car.
There's Mark Martin running so very smoothly as always he does. Mark, with that 27th place finish at Daytona, ended a string of 9 consecutive top 10 finishes. He'd like to start a new streak here today.
When I got rid of my gray hair, I wanted a natural look, so I didn't take any chances. I used the sure thing for a natural look called Just for Men.
Apply Just for Men, and in 5 minutes, rinse. It's specially timed to blend away gray, bring back your natural look, and condition hair.
It's a sure thing.
Just for Men, the sure thing for a natural look. And now try Just for Men Color Gel for the hard-to-color hair of mustaches and beards. Brush in, rinse out. Just 5 minutes.
Welcome back, everybody, as Dale Jarrett continues to show the way. Lap number 61. He took the lead 30 laps ago at lap 31. and has had a comfortable lead, although now it is 1 3/10 seconds. Not quite as healthy as that 2.5-second lead he enjoyed a short while ago. Reason A, some traffic. Reason B, Ernie Irvin's turning up the heat just a bit.
He is that. He's running very well. But you see Jarrett there, very smooth. Right now he has a pretty good lead, and the last thing he wants to do is burn his tires off.
Let's take you through the top 5. There is second place, Ernie Irvin. 3 4/10 seconds behind Ernie is Bobby Hamilton. So the front two now with a fairly comfortable margin of 4 seconds from first back to third. And we'll widen out. There went Ernie, still waiting for Hamilton, and there he is. He is running in the third spot. Then Ricky Craven is next in line. Ricky will be 4 8/10 seconds back behind Bobby Hamilton. We wait and wait and wait for the Budweiser machine to come into view, and there he is. 4 8/10 seconds behind the man in front of him. And then another 1 second further back is our Busch pole sitter Kenny Schrader, who has now settled the Skoal colors there in 5th, ahead of Chad Little, who is running in 6th. And actually, behind Schrader, all of those guys are battling for position. Schrader, Little, Andretti, Wallace, Labonte, and Burton all running for position right there. Let's go to pit road.
Well, guys, we're approaching the time when we're starting to see the pit window. Some of the guys are starting to get ready down here. I asked Mark Reno with Ernie Irvin when they would pit. He said probably sometime around lap 80. Jerry Nadeau is going to pit around lap 80. They're getting ready in Rusty Wallace's pit. The key lap number is 75. This is a 300-lap race. They want to at least go to lap 75 so they can go at 75 lap segments. That equals 300. You multiply that times 4. Somebody figure that out for me on a calculator. I certainly didn't do it myself.
I thought you had your pocket abacus out to help you there. 66 laps now, so we're 9 laps away from that window that Glenn was talking about. There's Jeff Burton in the 99. He's running in 10th spot, ahead of Labonte. If you're a Jeff Gordon fan, by the way, he's back in 20th spot. And here comes Ricky Rudd. Ricky Rudd is on the pit lane right now. The first of our pit stops. He's in 21st position. Matt, they made a significant chassis adjustment.
Eli, it's a 4-tire stop for Ricky Rudd. The reason being, they have an equalized tire. Ricky is not sure which tire it is. They had to go with all 4. This is going to kill them with track position because they only wanted to take on 2 on this first round of pit stops.
Ricky Rudd, who won here in 1994. It was his first win as a car owner. So an early pit stop for Rudd at lap 67 as Jarrett's crew waits to make a pit stop as the race leader.
Where do the best drivers go to get a head start?
Morning, Jeremy. Morning, Jeff.
Kmart, because our car care department stocks only the most performance-driven batteries around, like the new Excite NASCAR Select. The battery Jeremy Mayfield and Jeff Burton use in their race cars. The same one Mark Martin and 21 other teams put in their cars. So if you want the official battery of NASCAR in your car, you better get into your nearest Kmart. Chances are, there's one just around the corner. NASCAR Performance. Kmart low prices.
In America, there exists a sport that is driven by the fans. They are why everyone works so hard. On the teams and at the tracks, in front of the grandstands and behind the scenes, to give the fans the greatest race possible. NASCAR fans deserve the best, starting from the high banks of Daytona, all the way to the shores of California, and at every race in between. NASCAR fans, you're the reason for our success. Thanks.
This week on NASCAR Garage, join us for a personal visit with top NASCAR crew chief Steve Meal.
Today at 11:30 a.m. and 11 p.m. on the leader for motorsports coverage, TNN Motorsports.
Fire up the grill and ice down the drinks. Because guess who's coming over to play?
TNN's cooking up one hot and spicy barbecue. You and 50 friends are going to chow down with Travis Tritt in your own backyard. Just send in a postcard with your name, address, and phone number to Travis Tritt Backyard Concert Sweepstakes. TNN Station, Post Office Box 3534, Southbury, Connecticut 06488.
It's going to be one kicking country party.
And if that's not enough to get your coals in a glow,
I'm bringing the tune.
Travis will rock your barbecue with a live concert, plus $5,000 to boot.
Sounds like a party to me.
So enter TNN's Travis Tritt Backyard Concert Sweepstakes today. Brought to you by Shell. Co-sponsored by the Louisiana Office of Tourism. Receive a free travel brochure just for entering. Plus, prizes provided by the Louisiana Office of Tourism and Euro-America Sidecar Motorcycles.
www.nascar.com. That's the address for NASCAR Online. David Hyatt and his staff on hand here in New Hampshire, and they're keeping you up to speed on the internet at www.nascar.com. You want the news? It's there at NASCAR Online.
Eli, you're looking back at a Mark Martin's car. This is a tremendous race. It's not for the lead, but these guys are going at it. Look, 3 wide down in the corner here.
Well, Rick Mast of the 75 just snuck to the inside there. There goes the 41, trying to get around Randy McDonald, and he gets into his rear. Randy McDonald just wouldn't move. He's just coming through. McDonald in the 79. Grissom in the 41. Pit stop now for the race's pole sitter, Kenny Schrader. He is at lap 75 making a pit stop, and there he is. Glenn, you had talked about that 75 lap window. Schrader's there, and he's coming in.
Yeah, they couldn't wait to get in, Eli. The cars had picked up a pretty bad push. It just kept getting worse and worse as the tires wore, so they will change 4 tires, and they're going to make some adjustments on it. Boy, a lot of smoke coming off of the thing when he comes in here. It's just brake dust smoke. They'll use a lot of brakes getting in the corner here, so it will be a 4-tire change and adjustments. Let's go back pit road to Matt Yost.
Glenn, here's a tire that came off Ricky Rutt's car. You can see how it started to blister. Check this out. Boy, I bet that was a pretty rough ride, don't you think, buddy? You can see how this tire really started to blister. The Goodyear engineers are looking at it. They're consulting with Jim Long, the crew chief. A lot of crew guys from different teams. Tony Liberati came down. Mike Thomas from Dale Earnhardt's team. They all came down to take a look at that tire. Let's go back upstairs.
Actually, what that does is cook the rubber away from the inner part of the tire there, and it makes a bubble, and it blows that part of the rubber away and makes it unbalanced, so it is a rough ride. Normally, though, it's a chassis situation more so than a tire situation, one would assume.
Bobby Hamilton has pitted. He took 2 tires. Jeff Bodine pitted for 2 tires. Track position. That's why they're only taking 2.
Other pit stops, Bobby Labonte, Ted Musgrave, Glenn Jarrett's got an update.
Well, we were in Bobby Hamilton's pit also, guys, and like you said, he only took 2 tires. They didn't make any chassis adjustments that I saw, so Bobby's pretty happy with the way the car's driving. Jerry Nadeau just pitted. He took 4 tires. His car's very loose. The 28 car's getting ready to come in. Also, Robin Pemberton, Rusty Wallace's crew chief, motioned that he would only change 2 tires. Rusty has moved up into the top 5, and actually he's 3rd now, so he's really going for track position. He likes the way his car feels.
Dave Marcus has made his pit stops. Hutch Strickland was in. All of these stops under green at lap number 78. At this very moment, you've got that battle right there for position. Chad Little and Dale Earnhardt making their stops, and now they are back on the racetrack going for, actually, in Earnhardt's case, having not made a pit stop yet, but they're out there battling for position. Resetting it for you, it is Jarrett ahead of Irvin. Rusty Wallace is in 3rd. Burton, that would be Jeff Burton in 4th. Ricky Craven is 5th. Andretti is 6th. Martin is 7th. Little is 8th. Then you see the lap machine of Robbie Gordon because he has made a pit stop. Everything now in the middle of sequencing. Sterling Marlin on the pit lane for service. He comes in at lap number 79. But that's the battle for the lead. Jarrett and Irvin. And they're putting some darn good cars a lap down also.
Good fight. 2 strong cars, teammates.
Michael Waltrip in the 21 just ahead of them. He's in 22nd position. There's Mark Martin moving to the inside of Ricky Craven. Ricky now back to 6th.
Whoa, he gets touched there by Earnhardt. You can see Ricky Craven got touched by Earnhardt and almost lost it.
Saved it well, but it's going to cost him some positions. Earnhardt and Terry Labonte both getting by. Matter of fact, also the lap car of Robbie Gordon and Chad Little also got by before Craven gets back in line just ahead of Rick Mast. So move Ricky Craven into the 11th spot now. Let's take another look at what happened there.
Ricky Craven in the 25. There's Earnhardt. Just touched him, and that's all it took. Craven gets up in the loose stuff, and here they come. Terry Labonte, Chad Little, and Robbie Gordon right behind him are all going to get by.
So Earnhardt now in 7th. Terry Labonte on the right of your screen. He is running in 8th. There's the battle for the lead. Neither of those men have made their pit stops yet. Rusty Wallace now making a pit stop. He is in at lap number 82. Glenn Jarrett's there.
Yeah, we're waiting on him, Eli, and as I said, Robin Pemberton said this will be a 2-tire change, as will Ernie Irvin when he comes in. Here's Rusty in the middle light Ford right now. We're going to put the clock on him. Billy Wilburn over to the right front tire, right. Robin Pemberton, the crew chief, takes it. They're cleaning the grill. Boy, there is a lot of stuff on the grill of Rusty's car. Now they're going for 4. Oh, they told everybody they were only going to take 2, and they decided to go for 4. So they don't always tell the truth down here, I guess. At least not to me. Rusty's down and away in about 19.25 seconds.
Other pit stops taking place now. Johnny Benson is in. Joe Nemechek is in. Michael Waltrip is in. Jeff Burton getting service. Darrell Waltrip as well. Here comes Kenny Wallace while Brett Bodine goes behind the wall again. Still problems in the aftermath of the lap 1 accident that he was involved in. Now John Andretti will pit as you watch the battle for the lead still on the back straightaway. Here come Mark Martin and Earnhardt along with Andretti. Lap 84.
Wonder if they're going to go.
Here comes our leaders right down pit road now.
Leaders will come in at lap 85. Jarrett and Irvin. All of these stops under green. Matt Yoakum is in Jarrett's pit.
It's a 4-tire stop for Dale Jarrett. He said, I'm comfortable with the car. No adjustments. He's giving me a good stop, guys. Dale Earnhardt, he's down and away. Let's go to Glenn Jarrett.
And we're up in Ernie Irvin's pit. Mark Martin just came in. He took 4 tires and is gone. Ernie is in, and they will change 4 tires as well on the Texaco Hamilton Ford. We've got the clock on him. Joey Knuckles around. Already got the left side off. The left side of the car's up. Tires are on. A little bit slower stop than Rusty Wallace had. I got 20.3 on the stop here for Ernie Irvin. He's down and away.
Meanwhile, at the other end of pit road, Jeff Gordon is in for service. Matt Yoakum.
Jeff Gordon, a 4-tire stop for the DuPont team. He is down and away. A good stop for Ray Everett and company.
Ricky Craven is in. Mike Skinner, Derek Cope. Let's go to Steve Burns. He's in the Craven pit.
Ricky Craven has been complaining of a loose condition getting into the corner. Crew chief Andy Graves is making a chassis adjustment to the right rear. Dave Denning, the jack man, has done his job. He comes around on the tires. Shane Parslow and Kevin Gilman on the rear. Again, Andy Graves making a slight chassis adjustment. Ricky Craven revs the motor up. A little problem on the left front, but he's gone. 22.7.
So while Ricky Craven was on the pit lane, he gets credit for leading 1 lap. Then the lead goes over to the 43 of Bobby Hamilton. So if you're keeping tabs at home, Dale Jarrett led lap 31 through 85. Craven lap 86. Bobby Hamilton takes over at lap number 87. 3 8/10 seconds from Hamilton back to Dale Jarrett. We're coming right back.
Hold it, Harry. You know you can't use Duralube fuel treatment in your Indy car. It's an unfair advantage.
I'm not allowed to use this product in my Indy car, but in my road car, I want the Duralube advantage.
Duralube is scientifically formulated to clean, condition, and protect your fuel system for a smoother running engine with more power and less harmful emissions.
At Chevy, we test our cars in a controlled environment. If you call trading paint at 200 miles per hour controlled, Team Monte Carlo. Chevrolet, the cars more champions trust.
There's no track in the world that's tougher on brakes than the one in Martinsville, Virginia. And when drivers take the green flag here, they all have one thing in common, the same brand of brakes. Because without them, you can't come down this straightaway at 120 miles an hour and still make it through the turn. So which brand do the top drivers use to get them through 500 laps at Martinsville? Performance Friction Carbon Metallic. And we stock them at AutoZone.
TNN Motorsports live coverage of the Jiffy Lube 300 is being brought to you by the more than 1,600 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. Welcome back to New Hampshire International Speedway. That aerial view brought to you by Federated Auto Parts Stores. Professional advice, brand name parts. Great view there, those long drag strip-like straightaways and the tight turns. Really is a big old Martinsville Speedway, isn't it?
And the huge crowd that's here today as well.
Man.
Bob Baer's going to add another 50 acres of parking. They've widened the road to go in, so there's less of a traffic problem here in New Hampshire. The state loves this racetrack, and so do the race fans.
There you see Bobby Hamilton. He is the race leader. Let's go back. Glenn Jowett, I want to follow up on what Robin Pemberton did. He said 2 tires and they went to 4. What was the thinking?
Eli just asked him that very same question, and Robin told me, he said, hey, there was only a couple of cars that took 2 tires. He said, I had to take 4 to be able to keep up. Bobby Hamilton, the only car in the top 5 by my count that took 2 tires. I'm down in Ken Schrader's pit right now, and he took 4. He was the first guy in. This is the right front tire that came off of his car. Remember I told you it had picked up a bad push? Well, that's what a bad push does to the right front tire here at New Hampshire. The tire had started blistering, so they had to take 4 tires. Here's Matt.
Glenn, it was the same thing with Dale Earnhardt. Everyone else started taking 4 tires. They took 4 tires as well. Dale said the car was a tad tight. They loosened him up with air pressure. The same thing with Kyle Petty in the 44 car. Let's go to Steve Burns.
Matt, 20 laps ago, 25 laps ago, you're talking about Ricky Rudd having a tire problem where it looked like the tire wear was okay, but some of the rubber came off. Well, the same thing has happened to Ricky Craven. Ricky had complained of being loose going into the turns. The right rear looked pretty rough. Now, again, the tire wear is okay, but it looks like there are patches that are coming off of the tire, and that is why Craven was having a problem handling in the turn.
So that's the update from the pit lane. There's your leader, Bobby Hamilton. Now we'll widen out just a bit and show you the interval from Hamilton back to Ernie Irvan in the 28th. It is 1 6/10 seconds on the clock, and that's what that looks like on the racetrack. There is Ernie, having gotten around Dale. Jarrett is right behind him. Johnny Benson just ahead there in the 30. Brand new race car. First time that car was ever on a racetrack was here on Friday morning in Johnny Benson's case. And Ernie gets around him. Now Kenny Wallace will be the next man to deal with. Kenny's running in 29th spot, already a lap down on the 81. Brett Bodine back on the racetrack yet again. He's some 70 laps down.
Looking inside. Inside.
Looking inside. Got him inside.
Come on.
He was coming anyhow.
Ernie Irvan, last year, first win after the Michigan injury of 1994 right here at New Hampshire Speedway. You know, in July of 94, he won the pole for this race here at New Hampshire.
Folks from Napa Auto Parts giving you the update across the top of the screen. At Napa, we keep America running.
How low can they run in the corner? Watch Benson's left side go completely under the yellow line. That's the flat part of the racetrack. The tires must really be working, and when they stick that well, sometimes you have a tire problem.
Saw Dale Jarrett having to wait to get by with that double file racing, and finally sees the inside open up. Jarrett in the number 88 machine is running 3rd. And again, there's the rundown across the top of the screen. Let's go back to pit road for an update on the tires.
Well, guys, now look down to Ernie Irvan's pit and look at the right front tire off of his car. The very same thing that we saw on Ken Schrader's. Now, I talked to Phil Homer, the Goodyear engineer, who heads up the Goodyear program in NASCAR stock car racing. And I asked him, I said, Phil, is this a true blister or is it just something significant here to New Hampshire International International Speedway. He said, no, it's a blister. He says you can't adjust your air pressure as much as you could in a bias-ply tire to make it go away. So he says they're having everybody make chassis adjustments to try to eliminate this problem. It's not hurting wear. It's not really bad right now, but it is significant enough that it's got Goodyear down here. They don't think it's going to be a serious problem, but they're right on top of it.
And there is Phil Holmer there on the white shirt, top right of your screen. Many, many years, the man in charge of the NASCAR Winston Cup Series program for the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company. Now back on the racetrack, Andretti in the 98, Earnhardt in the 3. They're running in 7th and 8th, respectively.
Eli, the other thing, the tire problem will get better as they get more rubber in the racetrack. The wear problem should minimize, and they went the full gas stop that time, so I don't think we really have a tire problem as such. It may blister a little, but they can live with that.
Of course, the new paving in the corners, too. The track's not coming up, but I dare say there's magnificent adhesion to the racetrack there.
Yeah, something kind of has to give here. You've got these heavy cars, and you've got a track with only 12 degrees of banking, and the drivers are really tossing them through the corners. Look at Earnhardt. Here he comes on the outside. That's going to be for 7th spot. Boy, from 25th to 7th. And, you know, there's just so much grip that there can be without something saying, okay, I give up a little bit.
Well, you're riding with Mark Martin going down into turn 1. See the left front go all the way on the flat part of the racetrack. He's running very, very well. Mark Martin, a very cagey race car driver, and if they do have a problem today, look for this guy to come to the front.
USA Today on Friday, Mark Martin was talking about how this would be his year for a championship. Next year, Ford will have a new body. Most likely it's going to be a Ford Taurus, and he said this is what we've got to do. We've got all the elements in place to win a championship, and indeed they do. Right people, right motors, right cars, right driver, right car owner.
And right now, a pretty darn good battle for the lead, too.
I think that says it all. You see on the bumper cam there, close up and personal. It's getting that way.
The leader is the STP 43, the Pontiac. Then the lap car of Derek Cope next in line, followed by second place Ernie Irvin. Darrell Waltrip trying duly to stay on the lead lap. He's in 26th in the Western Auto Parts America, car number 17.
Had such a good year this year, Darrell Waltrip has.
Well, like we said before, he has led at least one lap now in the last 6 races in a row. And Jeff Gordon is off the pace just a bit. He's been bypassed there by 3 or 4 and still can't get back to the low side of the racetrack. I don't know if it's so much that he is slowed or something, just can't get back in the groove. Raven by, Musgrave by, Rick Mast gets by, and finally Gordon gets back in line. It's going to cost him way back to 25th position.
Eli, he's not getting much traction at all up off the corner. I don't know what the motor problem or what. Jeff Gordon is not up to full song right now.
Let's get an update from the Gordon pit.
Well, guys, we've been listening to the radio conversation between Jeff and Ray Evernham, and the car is big time loose, and I underline big time. Jeff says he simply cannot use the accelerator up off of these flat turns here at New Hampshire, and exactly like you say, Buddy Baker, he just simply can't get an accelerator and the floorboard thing off the corner. That's why he's running so slowly, falling backwards. They need a caution flag so they can come in and make an adjustment. He is loose.
Or she has one here from a 21st starting spot, Gordon has, so it's not unlikely or impossible to assume he could get back to the front. Then you see Darrell Waltrip going a lap down. Let's get a further update from Matt Yoakum. He also is on top of the Jeff Gordon story. And here comes Jeff for a pit stop. Matt?
Eli, Ray says 45 miles per hour, Jeff, 45 miles per hour. Bring it, hit the mark, perfect stop. They're going to put some wedge in the car to try to tighten him up. He is so bad loose, he says he can barely hang on to the car. 2 tires on the outside, and he is down and away.
22 laps is all he has gone in this sequence, fellas. 22 laps since he was last on the pit lane.
Eli, he had to do something. He was just fixing to go a lap down there under the green there, and you have to make adjustments and hope that you hit it right so he can get back up to full song, because he was way off.
There are the top 3 right now. You saw Hamilton, Irvin, and Jarrett tied tightly together. Still lots of racing remaining. We are live in New Hampshire.
All across America, you're there to see us through.
Racing engines endure severe stress
And your engine does too. That's why under severe service driving conditions, Jiffy Lube recommends service every 3,000 miles. And we offer Pennzoil.
3,000 miles, you make us smile. America's Jiffy Lube.
Jiffy Lube, America's favorite oil change.
U.S. gold medalist Mia Hamm spends 90 minutes destroying her hair and 90 seconds bringing it back with Pert Plus. More than a shampoo, it conditions too. How? As you shampoo, the conditioners stay suspended. As you rinse, the conditioners go to work, giving you great hair simply. Perfect for Mia, because she wants great hair, but she'd rather be living in it than working on it. Wouldn't you? Pert Plus. Simply great hair. Simply.
I was born active. Motor's always running, if you know what I mean. So to stop smoking, the patch was not for me. Too passive, too rigid. With Nicorette gum, I get to do something. I participate in my own survival, fight my own cravings. Nicorette and I hit them before they hit me. I was busy smoking. Now I'm busy not smoking. Works out pretty good.
Nicorette gum will help you quit smoking successfully by helping you control your cravings. You can do it. Nicorette can help.
Troy Aikman is back to pass. He's looking, and ooh, Aikman's down.
He had a man wide open. What was this guy thinking?
Brute, it's all part of the game.
All right, guys, same play.
Double dukes, we got back-to-back, Bo and Luke. Double the daisy and double the dukes. Double fun in the summertime on TNN. Back-to-back dukes for twice the fun. Don't touch that dial, 'cause this is a double dose of the Dukes on TNN.
The Dukes of Hazzard, weeknights at 6 and 7 Eastern on TNN.
Double Dukes, double Dukes.
We have a new leader here at New Hampshire International Speedway, Ernie Irvin, the 10th different race that he has led here in 1997. He powered by the race leader back at lap number 112. Here's how it happened, buddy.
Well, you can see Bobby Hamilton there in the 43, the 28 of Ernie Irvin just behind him, and teammate Dale Jarrett as they head up towards the back straightaway. You can see Ernie getting great forward bite off the corner, just powered by Bobby Hamilton going down into turn 3. Along comes Dale Jarrett down in the corner to take over second.
Was that 4 tires versus the 2 that Bobby took on?
I think he'll take on 4 every time anybody else does from now on. It really hurts to have a worn-out tire on the left side of this car.
There's Jeff Gordon in the 24. Still, in case you're wondering, he is in peril of going yet another lap down. There's the tale of a couple of Tigers this year. Tiger Woods, Jeff Gordon, the golfer on the left, and you see the comparison right there. Virtually, the earnings are the same per event average. Any way to cut it, how about the future that both those gentlemen have? Matt, let's talk about Jeff Gordon's pit stop moments ago. How severe were the tire problems there?
Eli, he didn't blister a tire like Ricky Rudd and some other drivers are complaining. The problem with Jeff Gordon, it's cut. Old Faithful, there you can see just a small little pinhole, but that's enough to make Jeff Gordon think he was bad loose. And sooner or later, that was really going to come apart.
Of course, Jeff Gordon, the man who picked up the bonus from Gatorade as the point leader halfway through this 1997 NASCAR Winston Cup season. A $50,000 payday for him.
I think it kind of summarizes what kind of a season that we've had, and it gives us momentum for the second half of the season. It certainly doesn't hurt to get $50,000 from Gatorade also for leading the halfway, which you know, we've been able to pick up I think the last couple years. So you know, it's really, you know, a great way to get the season off right and hope that it gets your second half of the season off started right.
It's a 54-point lead for Gordon, who is now 1 lap down and darn close to a second lap down. If you're curious about the points, because of Jeff Gordon's problems, he would relinquish the lead as of this moment to Terry Labonte, who is quietly running in the 12th position. Then Gordon would check in ahead of Mark Martin, being shown in 4th. That's how the totals stack up right now. There are 23 cars on the lead lap. Gordon is a couple of laps down, almost a couple of laps down, running in 37th spot. The reason the average speed is so high today, only one caution flag so far. It came out at lap number 1. The record of that 107.029 that we just showed you, held by Jeff Gordon. Set that record in July of 1995.
Right in front of Ernie Irvan is Ricky Craven. He is one of the local favorites. First track champion this racetrack ever had. He's won here at Busch, won a Winston Cup pole, won a Busch pole in that number 25 car. But look at him. He has got Irvan all over his back bumper, ready to put him a lap down. Craven running in 22nd spot for now.
Jarrett and Sterling Marlin side by side there, right behind. Sterling's in 22nd position now.
I'll tell you, they love Craven around here. They really do.
That's something.
Yep.
They had race fever night in downtown Concord on Wednesday evening, and it was a gully wash. I mean, it was coming down rain. I mean, I saw one car go by with a picture of Jacques Cousteau on his hat. I mean, it was raining, and Ricky must have had 500 people lined up in the Budweiser trailer waiting for autographs in the pouring down rain.
Well, they've seen him come from the little racetracks around here, the 3rd and quarter miles, where he was a winner, and coming forward and forward and forward. And right now, Bobby Hamilton has got problems, a flat tire on the 43.
Glenn Jarrett, here he's coming towards you, lap 124.
Yes, he is, Eli. We just heard the radio communication between he and Robbie Loomis, and he does have a flat tire. He is slowly making his way down pit. I tell you, this is one of the longest pit roads that you can come down at 45 miles per hour. It is so long, and it seems like it takes forever. Bobby comes in, both the left sides are up, so it is a right side tire. I imagine if they're going to change all 4, though, because they only changed right side tires last time in. So he was one of the cars that only took on 2 tires. So right side tire giving problems here. Right side's done. We're around to the left side. Have a little bit of a problem on the right side there. Tough break for Bobby Hamilton. Seems like every time he has a good run going, bad luck jumps up and bites him. And now they got problems on the left rear. Big problems. Lost the luck. Man, that was a bad pitch. 30.1. That's bad.
That is the same car that they won with at Phoenix, finished 5th with at Richmond, and 2nd at Martinsville. They'll run the same machine at Indianapolis. The car itself just fine. But the problem's there, and with the lengthy pit stop, Bobby Hamilton goes all the way back to 35th position. He is 2 laps behind the race leader, Ernie Irvan, who leads Jarrett, Jeff Burton, Joe Nemechek, and Rusty Wallace.
Baby, oh baby, I love to call you baby. B-A-B-Y, baby. B-A-B-Y, baby. I said, baby, baby.
They call me the Intimidator. When I'm cooking, I'm unbeatable. Give the folks what they came for. Give them their money's worth. I'm friendly. Just don't cut in front of me.
That's the man who's showing the way here at New Hampshire International Speedway, Ernie Irvan. Those are the numbers with Robert Yates Racing. They will part ways after the 1997 season. No word yet on where Ernie goes next year. We'll find out in due time, but certainly no one doubts his ability. His stock as high as can be. He'll have plenty of opportunities. Dale Jarrett running in 2nd. Jeff Burton is 3rd. Then you've got Joe Nemechek running in 4th spot. Not talk much about Joe. They're the Bell South colors going by Randy McDonald. He's had solid pit stops today, Glenn, and he's just kind of quietly worked his way to the front. The progression from 19th at lap 25 all the way to 4th now.
He's done a tremendous job, and surprise, surprise, he only took 2 tires on that green flag pit stop. He gained a lot of track position, and he has been able to hold his on with Jeff Burton, who's running right in front of him in 3rd, and Rusty Wallace, who took 4 tires, who's running behind him in 5th. So great job for Judd Nemechek. Remember, he got one of the biggest victories of his career in the NASCAR Busch Series when he won here. I believe it was 1992 or 93 when he held off Dale Earnhardt in a great duel in one of the first Busch Series races here. So Joe loves this track, and he has won on it. Now let's go to Steve Burns.
Glenn, Jeff Burton started the race 15th. He is now 3rd. I talked to the car chief, Frank Stoddard, before the race. They had an interesting strategy. Their strategy was to set the chassis up so that it would be tight early. They didn't want the car to turn as well early in the race as it would later on. The thought being that they may not be as strong early, but as the race kept going longer and longer, their car would get better and better.
Well, Jeff Burton has posted 6 top 10 finishes in the last 8 races. He is still 8 seconds behind Dale Jarrett, who is in 2nd. And of course, Ernie Irvan continues to lead. There's Rusty Wallace and Dale Earnhardt running in 5th and 6th. And Glenn was right. That deal with Nemechek and Earnhardt, 1992. And it really was great sportsmanship that day, because Earnhardt had Nemechek all sorts of sideways and could have parked him. And it was a Busch race, and would let the man get himself straightened out. And then they went to the finish, and Joe Nemechek won it.
Earnhardt said every time he hit him, he got faster. He said, I quit hitting him.
Let's go down to pit road and update you further on the tire story.
Well, guys, the tire story this week is a big surprise because teams on Friday and Saturday have not experienced any blistering. This is Mike Thomas, a tire specialist for Dale Earnhardt. Mike, any idea what the problem may be with the tires and some teams are experiencing blistering?
What I think's happened is over the weekend, nobody put on stickers and made a real long run. We all stayed on scuds. Now we're racing stickers. I just think they're blistering. I mean, it's no real problem. They're holding up pretty good. Goodyear's got a good tire, but everybody's been on scuffs all weekend.
And the good thing for the Dale Earnhardt team, Mike Thomas has a set of scuffs waiting for that last pit stop to take them to the finish.
Let's establish here, buddy, a lot of new fans. Scuffed tires are the ones that the guys scuffed in. The new tires are obviously that brand new. Why do they act differently on the racetrack?
Okay, the first thing you do is you go out and abuse them. You put heat into the tire, and as it cools, it hardens just a little bit. Actually, you cook the tire, and it's a little bit harder, and will withstand a lot more heat later on because it is scuffed in.
Well, the difference between the stuffs and the sticker tires that still have the manufacturer's sticker on them, and that's why they have got that term. Back up front, Hut Strickland has been 19th, car number 8 there left of the screen. He's trying gamely to stay on the lead lap. We've only had 5 caution laps. That's why so many teams are going a lap down. We had 1 5-lap caution at lap number 1, and that's been it.
Tell me, my daughters, which of you doth love me most, Goneril?
Sir, I love you more than words can wield the matter. Dearer than eyesight, space, and liberty.
Regan, speak.
She comes too short. I find I am alone felicitate in your dear highness love.
Now, what shall Cordelia speak?
I brought unto you a treasure of Coca-Cola, colder than a witch's extremities.
You rule, my fairest daughter.
At Pep Boys, save $20 on our premium brake service. Our ASE certified technicians will install Ray Bestis lifetime brakes for $79.99 after rebate. Get brakes installed for only $79.99. Pep Boys, everything but gas. Too hot in your car? At Pep Boys, our ASE certified technicians can repair your R12 or the new R134A air conditioning systems. Whether you need refrigerant, parts, or expert service, we have it all. Pep Boys, everything but gas.
Sail with the Winston Cup Stars December 8th through 12th on the NASCAR Family Cruise. Enjoy NASCAR festivities, parties, and activities, plus stops in Key West and Cozumel. Call now for 5 days and 4 nights on the NCL cruise ship Leeward, leaving Miami December 8th.
If you're a big country music fan, you'll want to know who's hot. It's easy when you know where to turn. Country Music Television's Top 12 Countdown is your chance to see who's on top of the charts and who's coming on strong. Turn on to the Top 12 Countdown. Saturdays at 11, Sundays at 2. Turn on to country. Turn on to genuine CMT. Country Music Television.
It's an Eldora weekend getaway on TNN. Get ready for another wide-open dirt-slinging clash for cash. Catch the greatest show on dirt as the Pennzoil World of Outlaws tackle the High Bank Half Mile at Eldora Speedway.
Check this out.
It's the Eldora Clash on TNN Motor Madness, Friday night at 8 Eastern. Then Saturday night, there's more live sprint car racing with the Kings Royal at 9 Eastern. And it's all on TNN, the Nashville Network.
Race fans, you make the call. New LCI residential long-distance customers receive 30 minutes of free domestic calling and the World Card Plus calling card featuring participating NASCAR drivers. Don't delay. Call now. 1-888-TEAM-LCI.
Welcome back, New Hampshire International Speedway. We go away, they pass for the lead. It's that simple. Here's how it happened back at lap number 137.
See Dale Jarrett there on the bottom side as Ernie comes out. He just gets a little bit wide there, and Jarrett down the straightaway. Ernie knows he's there, backs off, lets him go. Now, the one reason this may be happening is Ernie set a blistering pace when they started out there. He may have leaned on his tires, cooked them a little bit. Jarrett was running just a little bit slower, taking care of his tires, and right now it's dividend time.
There you see Joe Nemechek in the 42. He's that colorful car outside of the 71 of Dave Marcus. Nemechek is in fourth. Dale Earnhardt is up to fifth. You know the storyline about Earnhardt. 43 races since last he visited Victory Lane. Could today be the day?
I think so, Eli. We know this man's a winner in the number 3 car. And we know that Larry McReynolds is also a winner. Sooner or later, it's going to cook.
At this racetrack, he's a winner, and he's got the same setup he used last year in this car.
Right, Ernie was the winning crew chief a year ago for Ernie Irvin.
And there's nothing wrong with that driver either. He can still turn the steering wheel.
You got that right. Back up front. Oh, Huck Strickland still hasn't gone a lap down. The car was fishtailing on him there for a while, about 5 laps ago, but he still didn't yield a spot.
He's driving Jarrett nuts. Jarrett's been trying to get by him, and he just can't. Despite the fact that Strickland gets out sideways, he's managed to hang on to that spot.
If you're curious about Kenny Schrader, still out there running, now in 9th spot. There he is in the Skoll colors. Kyle Petty in the 44 is in position to battle him. He's in 10th. We'll give you the rundown across the top of the screen here so you'll know exactly where everybody is running. Kenny Schrader qualified in the top 10 for every race here in New Hampshire, including the push pole here for this weekend.
In case you're wondering about the popularity of Winston Cup Racing, a popular national auto racing magazine.
Wouldn't be Stock Car Racing magazine.
Matter of fact, it would. Did a photo feature over Friday on that number 44 car. The trailer was in the city of Boston. They had to keep breaking the feature apart because people were banging on the doors of the studio. They wanted to get in. They wanted to see the car. They wanted an autograph from the driver of the truck, anybody at all. The photographer said it drove him nuts. He tried to take a picture and bang, bang, bang. There they were on the steel doors again, wanting in.
About 145 of 300. Right behind those 2 cars on the racetrack, and a quick look at Jeff Green in that white number 29. One of the Owensboro, Kentucky drivers that we had talked about in the pre-race coverage. Not on the lead lap, unfortunately. He's running in 39th spot, but he is out there. The Cartoon Network sponsorship. On the pit lane, there's Jerry Nadeau making a pit stop. Jarrett's there. He was in at 76, Glenn.
Yeah, he was having a problem with the right front, Eli. They came in and made a chassis adjustment. Remember, he was real loose earlier on, so they changed all 4 tires. I want to take a look at the right front tire now that they've got it off. I got a feeling we're going to see some big blisters on it. But Jerry's getting a lot of good experience out there today. He's kept himself out of trouble, getting a lot of lap time, a lot of track time, so he's doing a good job so far.
First of 2 races this year at New Hampshire International Speedway. Remember, this track getting a second date. Sunday, September the 14th. We'll be here for it. All on TNN Motorsports. A beautiful day in the Granite State. Hope you're enjoying with us.
Monsoon. Now there's premium sound in the unique interior of the Hummer. Monsoon. Power, attitude, audio for the road.
Mobil 1 synthetic motor oil. From 35 degrees below zero to 475 degrees above, nothing outperforms Mobil 1.
A tough case of athlete's foot can stop you in your tracks. You get that itching, the cracking, the burning. That's when you want a medicine and back stuff. Boom! Tough Actin Tenactin. It cures even tough cases of athlete's foot. Get Tough Actin Tenactin.
I don't ask for directions when I'm lost, and I don't read the instructions when I'm putting my kids' toys together, and I don't need help fixing my car. My friends, they go to Napa, where they get this expert advice from ASE certified professionals, which is great for them. They weren't born with the mechanical ability I was. If I can install a satellite dish, I can fix my own car. Honey, where's the duct tape?
There's a certain amount of pride that comes with doing it yourself, and Peerless makes it easy. So go ahead, let everyone know. I installed my own faucet this weekend. I installed the Peerless, the do-it-for-yourself faucet.
TNN Motorsports live coverage of the Jiffy Lube 300 is brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. At Napa, we keep America running. And by Peerless Faucet, the do-it-for-yourself faucet. Welcome back to New Hampshire International Speedway. Federated Auto Parts stores bringing us that great aerial view. Federated Auto Parts, professional advice, brand name parts. You've got brand names up here in the booth. Dick Bergman, Buddy Baker. On pit road, you've got Glenn Jarrett, Matt Yoakum, Steve Burns. I'm Eli Gold. Pit stops now taking place under green. Just past halfway here at New Hampshire International Speedway. Hut Strickland's in, and there goes Dick Trickle, Steve.
Yeah, remember Dick Trickle had a great run going at Daytona last weekend. Ken Schrader is now headed down pit road, and expect Ricky Rudd in momentarily.
There are the Skoll colors coming to the attention of Andy Petrie, the team owner and crew chief. Glenn?
And Andy Petrie also changes the front tires of the car. It will be a 4-tire stop. Hut Strickland just goes by after his stop there, so he's back out in the running. There is no chassis adjustment on Schrader's car. I want to take a good look at these tires. Remember, he's the first one that we saw that had the blister on the right front. We got the clock on him right now. Looks like a pretty good pit stop. Already got the right sides done, left side's up. They're on, down and away. Wow, 18.72. What a great pit stop for Ken Schrader.
A super stop for Schrader, who'd been in at lap 75, now is in again here at lap 153. Well, Kenny, of course, during that sequence, losing a lap. He's now running at 28th, but obviously this is the beginning of pit stops for these teams. There goes Jeff Gordon down a second lap. He doesn't like it any, but he can't do anything about it. So Jeff Gordon in 33rd spot is now 2 laps down. As pit stops continue, Kyle Petty fans, he's in for service, lap 156. Jeff Bodine is in as we watch Nemechek in the 42. Earnhardt in the 3. Rusty Wallace in the 2. That is 4th, 5th, and 6th place on your screen. Sterling Marlin is in for service at lap 156 as well. Let's let you know who's on the pit lane so you can keep tabs on your favorites. Ricky Rudd making a stop as we stay with that great battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th. There's Ricky's stop, Steve.
Ricky Rudd, remember, pitted on lap 67. He's going to take 4 tires. Now, we heard him talking to his crew chief, Jim Long, and he said, I'm not so sure that the tires aren't wearing. I mean, I think we may have a problem is what I'm trying to say. Again, he said the car just doesn't feel right. It's not handling good, but he is gone.
Well, the pit stop complete. Everybody will assess their situation. Robbie Gordon is on pit lane.
Whoa, I'm telling you, these guys are beginning to fishtail quite a bit his tail just a little bit. These cars are a little bit loose when they get back in the throttle as they start off the corner. Man, I'm glad I'm up here. These guys are really wiggling around.
And Glenn, they seem to be wiggling coming off the corner there.
Well, I think there's a good reason for it. Dale Jarrett just radioed in and said there is oil on the racetrack. He said he almost turned his around there, so I believe there's help there, buddy. They got some oil or some fluid down on the racetrack. It'll be interesting to see if they can soak it all up and go on, or whether NASCAR will throw a caution. But looks like some fluid on the track right now.
Well, I wonder who's putting it down. We'll know pretty quick, because if he's putting that much oil on the racetrack, it won't be long before they'll be in the garage area.
Except nobody's gone around yet. We'll have to wait and see. You see the rundown across the top of the screen. MCI bringing you the NASCAR timing and scoring updates here this afternoon. We're at lap 160. 140 to go.
It's a smooth race so far.
Only one caution flag for 5 laps.
Well, Dale Jarrett's having all kind of trouble there with the 24 Jeff Gordon. You can see him go to the inside. Gordon come down. He went to the outside. Gordon went up.
There's a lot of points at stake right here.
Gordon on the tail end of 1 lap down, almost 2 laps down.
Point leader.
Levi, just a little while ago, the 88 got by him, and now Gordon got back where he's just 1 lap down. But, boy, I tell you, they're going at it.
This is to put Gordon 2 laps down. And that it is. 2 laps down. Listening to the NASCAR radio, I will tell you that some drivers say that there was oil. Others are saying, no, the track is clean. They're keeping an eye on it. Certainly NASCAR is, with everybody getting a good grip in the corner. And some guys say they need a caution. Some say no. Oftentimes it's in direct relation to where they are in the leaderboard.
If you're turning right to go left right now, you want a caution, believe me.
Pal Benny, Jeff Bodine just went by Ernie Irvin. Remember that they had made earlier pit stops, took 4 tires, both of those cars, the 44 and the 7. They have made their pit stops. Irvin has not. A lot of money up for grabs today. $1.8 million here for a very short race, just 300 miles. When Bob Baer first opened this place in 1993, he paid over $1 million, and only 3 other events in '93 paid over that.
There's Joe Nemechek slowing down on the racetrack now. He'll be coming into the pits for a stop, running in 4th as he began to decelerate. Rusty Wallace is coming in as well. Now, of note there, Nemechek slowing down far more early than he should have for a routine stop. On the racetrack, Ernie Irvin in 2nd, being bypassed by some of those who have made their pit stops. Don't let the picture deceive you there. Rudd and Musgrave both came in for pit stops moments ago. Rusty Wallace is in.
Yes, he is, Eli, and they're making a chassis adjustment on the right rear. 2 rounds of wedge out of the car, and 4 tires. Obviously, they're going to fill it up with Unical gasoline, but this is a great pit stop. Another good one by these guys. 19.76 that time, 19.25 last time. These guys continually do great pit work.
Joe Nemechek is in for service as well in 12th spot. Now, if you wanted to find out why Joe Nemechek slowed down so early, watch this.
You see the 3 there just behind Nemechek in the 42. Watch this. Earnhardt just goes right in, takes that spot away, but something must have happened to Nemechek's car there. He really slowed. That looks like a shock hanging down or something. That's a brake duct. That's nothing to worry about.
And a brake duct.
Nothing to worry about.
On second view, but nevertheless, he did slow. Made his stop. Joe's in 30th position now, Nemechek is. A couple of laps down. Brett Bodine is done for the day. If you're following his fortunes, they have finally parked it. Finally, it was an electrical problem that put him out for the day. So Brett Bodine, the one and only in the garage. Now Randy McDonald joins him as well. So 2 retirees in the Jiffy Lube 300. Brett Bodine and Canadian Randy McDonald out of the event.
Leaders still have not pitted. Jarrett, Irvin, Burton, Earnhardt, Andretti, Martin. None of those guys have made their pit stops yet.
5.5 seconds the lead right now. There's Earnhardt making his stop. Waltrip right behind him. This is lap 168.
This is exactly when Larry McReynolds wanted to pit Dale Earnhardt. It will be a 4-tire stop. Dale says the car is loose in, tight, and center off. He said, but don't make any drastic changes, so Larry will adjust the car with tire pressure. A great stop by the Flying Aces, and he's down and away.
There you see the work on the racetrack. Bobby Hamilton being bypassed by Jarrett. Jeff Gordon has been in on the pit lane again. He was in at lap 108. Now in here, Steve, at lap 168.
Eli, they took 4 tires. It didn't look like they made any major chassis adjustments. None that we could see anyways. There was a 4-tire stop.
You watch Dale Jarrett, the race leader. Terry Labonte is in at lap number 170. There's Ernie Irvin. He too makes a stop here at lap number 170. Let's get the update.
And we're looking for 4 tires. I think we're going to see everybody take 4 tires. Ernie comes in right now, comes to a stop. We put the watch on him. Also, you see him go to the rear. They're going to make a track bar adjustment. The car has gotten a little bit loose, a lot looser than Ernie would like it. So they put a couple of rounds into the track bar. They're going to try to tighten the car up just a little bit for Ernie. They're back around to the left side here. The right rear looks good coming off the car. We'll take a look at the right front. Ernie's down and away. Wow, I got him to boy 18.8. That's a great stop under pressure.
Super stop for him. Other pit stops now. Michael Waltrip is in. Mike Skinner is in. We saw Morgan Shepherd at full speed going around Ernie Irvin there. No, Barrett's just fighting that car off the corner.
Eli is, and you can see the right side of his car has quite a bit of damage on it. Look where somebody's been all the way down the side. See the donuts where the tire was against sheet metal on the right side there. Ernie Irvin's car has the same identical marks on it.
Teammates, you know.
Yeah. There are enough donuts there to open up a Dunkin' Donut franchise. Lap 172.
Look how far down. Oh, he's coming in.
Here comes Dale Jarrett. He was in at lap 85 and is in now at lap 172. And Yoakum's waiting for him.
Well, guys, Dale Jarrett had a big scare about 10 laps ago. He said the motor started to go bad. The crew was looking to look at the gauges, check the switches. They couldn't figure out what it was, and then it mysteriously went away. Right now, he says the car is loose. They're going to make a wedge adjustment. 4 tires for the 88 car. A long pit stop for Dale Jarrett, and he's down and away. 19.5 seconds.
Good stop right there. Pit stops now for Jeff Burton. Lap 173. The new leader is John Andretti after Jarrett made the stop. So Andretti leads. Let's go to Burton's pit.
Eli, Jeff Burton is in. Now, I said earlier that they had set the car up tight. Well, it has loosened up. So they're going to make a chassis adjustment. Tony Liberati on the rear tires. Frank Stoddard on the front. The Jackman is Scott Deal. Quick pit stop. 18.3 seconds. Quick pit stop.
Man, big time smiles down there. Ricky Craven making his stop as well. There is Dale Jarrett. And again, a look at what finally forced him to make his pit stop. These kind of maneuvers off the corners. Just fighting the race car. He made a stop. Andretti, the leader. They're coming right back.
Let's be honest. We give our oil to these guys because everything we learn about how oil performs on the track helps us make better oil for you. But some folks already know that. Like ASE Certified Master Mechanics, America's best. They choose Valvoline over any other motor oil. So the next time you need oil, ask your mechanic. And if he doesn't recommend Valvoline, maybe you should be looking for a new mechanic. Take the wheel on the new Valvoline website. It's worth the ride.
In South Dallas, a lot of folks like to work on their cars, and a lot of them come to AutoZone. They save money on top quality parts, and they find helpful people, like Rocky Brown. Oh, sure, there are other parts stores in town, but Rocky's the kind of guy folks go out of their way to see. He's good at solving problems, and he really knows his parts. You see, when it comes to getting the right part, the right price, and good advice, there's just no place better. than AutoZone.
Good morning, sir. They're expecting you just down the hall.
I said a scalpel, not Excalibur.
TLC, adventures for your mind.
Every once in a while, something comes along that is truly different, truly unique. Presenting seating for 150 adults, 30 times the cargo space of a Jeep Cherokee, and equipped with 120-wheel drive. What is it? It's 30 Jeep Cherokees, and one of them could be yours. At Hardee's, we're giving away a Jeep Cherokee every day for 30 days, plus millions of other prizes. Just buy any combo for your chance to win. Only at Hardee's. What will they think of next?
People frown about all sorts of things. Sometimes it's about money. But one thing that won't cost you a lot is the Lumina from Chevrolet. Because Lumina offers you more standard safety features for the money than any other 6-passenger car in its class. In fact, at under $17,500, the Chevy Lumina is $2,000 less than Ford Taurus GL. For you, that's one less thing to worry about. So see your Chevy dealer for a Lumina today and give your face a rest. The cars more Americans trust.
19 cars on the lead lap. The last one is Hut Strickland. There he is, just ahead of the race leader, Dale Jarrett. Over the last moment or so, Jeff Burton led a lap, Andretti led a lap. Now Dale Jarrett back on top. Ernie Irvan right there, the number 28. He is running in the second spot. And you've got Jeff Burton in the 99 running in third. Watch this.
Eli, anybody that says Ernie Irvan's not a driver, watch this. Completely sideways, stays in the throttle, gets it back straight, never loses a spot, and as a matter of fact, never even slowed up.
I was saying, are you supposed to drive through that and power your way through, or just get off the gas and try and finesse it if you can?
Eli, we were talking when we looked at the first replay of that. I said 80% of the drivers out there would have hit something, because that guy was really out of shape on radial tires. Great job by Ernie Irvan.
How about Terry Labonte there losing some 8 spots on that pit stop, but he made it lap 170. Let's update you now after pit stops have concluded. Glenn, you had a couple of guys down there. Mark Martin, who is now being shown in 6th, and John Andretti, who led for a lap. They pitted down there your end.
Yeah, Eli, when they came in, the order was reversed. Andretti was leading and Mark Martin was running second at the time. They were the last 2 to cycle around and pit. Mark Martin took 4 tires and they made a big track bar adjustment. His car was a little tight in the middle. Also, the 98 car of John Andretti, the reason he lost that time, he just about ran out of gas. The car was sputtering when it came down the pit road, so he was lucky he didn't run out. Tony Furs just kind of wiped his brow and went, whew, let's go to Steve Burns.
Glenn, the 99 guys are just looking over their tires, and they're pretty pleased with what they've seen. I said earlier they made a chassis adjustment on the last pit stop. It was a ½ pound of air in the right rear.
An update on the 88 of Dale Jarrett. You saw that he just lost the lead to his teammate Ernie Irvan. As we told you on this pit stop, he had said that the car had a mysterious engine problem, and then as mysteriously as it appeared, it disappeared. It's back. He says the car is missing. So right now they're conferring with DJ on the radio to see how bad the miss is. And also on Dale Earnhardt's problem, his problem is lap traffic. He says his car is just as good as Ernie Irvan's, but lap traffic he cannot get around.
Well, let's set it for you. You saw both Irvan and Burton go by Dale Jarrett there, and a pretty good scramble ongoing with Jeremy Mayfield.
Jeff Burton is absolutely flying as he puts Mayfield down there, but you can see he is much quicker right now than Ernie Irvan. This guy will be leading in just a second. This car looks like it's on another track from everybody else.
Jarrett is 3rd, Earnhardt is 4th, Rusty Wallace is 5th. Let's set it for you a little bit further back. You've got Mark Martin 6th. John Andretti is 7th. Steve Grissom now is strong 8th. Kenny Schrader is 9th. Kyle Petty is 10th. 11th is Ricky Rudd. Bill Elliott is 12th. Joe Nemechek 13th. Jeff Bodine is 14th. Rick Mast is 15th. 16th is Terry Labonte. Ted Musgrave is 17th. Jimmy Spencer 18th. And 19th is Hut Strickland. Those are the teams currently on the lead lap here at lap 186 of 300. The Jiffy Lube 300. Everybody checking stopwatches and plotting strategy.
In 1893, the American automobile industry was born with a car named the Duryea, and Mobil Oil was in it. Mobil went overseas with the troops in World War II and underseas in the first nuclear-powered submarine. Since then, Mobil's been breaking records in everything from Corvettes to the F-16. So if you think all oils are alike, think about something. At Mobil, we've been changing oil for over 125 years.
NASCAR driver and truck team owner Ernie Irvan spends a lot of time with his top technicians. And when they need a top-quality replacement part,
I got the problem, Ernie.
they know just who to call. They call a Federated Auto Parts professional.
Professional installers trust the Federated Auto Parts pros. They're the best in the business. The guys in the know.
They're the Federated Auto Parts pros.
Welcome back, everybody. We are live in New Hampshire. Car number 28, Ernie Irvan. The 99 of Jeff Burton. The 88 of Jarrett. That's your front three. Of course, Ernie Irvan led 176 laps here actually 3 years ago in 94. Got caught up in a late race accident that day. Led 38 laps en route to the win last year. Still having to deal with old Hut Strickland there.
Absolutely. You can see Ernie look to the inside. Hut just moves right over as Jeff Burton moves up closer to Ernie Irvan as they head down the front straightaway. And you can see that the 88 of Dale Jarrett is beginning to drop further back.
He's still in third, but losing ground real estate-wise to the front two. Right there, Irvan in the 28, Jeff Burton in the 99.
And Hut Strickland, who's hanging in front of Ernie Irvan right now. What an incredible performance. This morning, Richard Broom decided to take out everything they had in their suspension, including the spindles, the front end settings. He changed 4 springs, 4 shocks, the sway bar. He said the only thing that's the same on this car that he has practiced is the number on the side. Broom said, we didn't qualify well. We're not going to give up. We're going to try something really different, and he is.
Dale Jarrett seems to be pretty much up to speed again. Oh! They just about took each other out.
They sure did.
What a fire up here, and it was worth it. Woo! I'm going to tell you, Ernie Irvan wrecked that day, and he just didn't finish it up.
Half of America probably screamed along with us there.
Your heart going again?
Yeah, it is. Barely.
I tell you.
I was about to say that Dale Jarrett's only 1 6/10 seconds behind these front two. Matt, what's going on down there? Did they just have a little quick problem that's cured itself, or what?
Well, there's a lot of communication between Todd and DJ. Todd, is there a motor problem? What's the problem with the 88? He's dropped from first to third.
Yeah, we got some kind of engine problem right now. Don't know what it is. Think it's a valve spring, something like that. Got a great race car, man. I mean, it was bad fast. The guys in the engine room have done a great job. We just hope this thing will make it to the end. A lot of cars talking happening right now. We'll get it fixed. We'll be all right.
Caution.
This is shades of Dover when he dominated there and had a motor problem late. Let's go back upstairs.
Caution on the speedway. The Remington Arms machine, Rick Mast in turn number 2. So caution for the second time. The first caution was on lap 1. This caution is on lap 193. We'll give you another look at what happened. You can see the problems on the right front of the Rick Mast car.
Whoa, Jimmy Spencer gets loose right there. You can see right there the 75 car getting very, very loose, up in the loose stuff. What's happening now is the outside groove has a lot of rubber dust out there. You get too far out of the groove and away you go.
So caution on the speedway for the second time this afternoon. The first one was on lap 1 when Brett Bodine, Ward Burt, Derek Cope had an incident up there in the corner. And then we've gone clean and green here until lap 193 when that man, Rick Mast, spun in turn 2.
And they don't open the pits right away. They give everybody a chance to close up so everybody has an equal opportunity to pit. The cars on the lead lap pit first. The cars that are a lap down pit second.
Rick Mast, who won here in a NASCAR Busch Series race, the last of his 9 career Busch Series wins, came here back in 1990, and now the leaders are on pit road.
Eli, you always ask why the 8-car Strickland would run so hard to stay in front. It paid dividends just then.
Let's go to pit road.
Jeff Burton's in, and I believe this is just going to be a 2-tire stop. Yes, it is. Let's go to Matt Yoakum.
It looks like it's going to be a 2-tire stop for Dale Jarrett. Yes, it is. He's down and away, and yes, you can hear as he pulled away, he does have a miss in the car. Glenn?
Well, down at Ernie Irvin, Rusty Wallace comes in. He took 2. Ernie's taking 4, and he had a problem on the right front. He had gotten into somebody. The right front tire was rubbing pretty seriously. Ernie takes 4. He's away.
So all the leaders in for service. We're at lap 195. The Jiffy Lube 300 is under caution in New Hampshire.
This is for my grandfather, who always said I'd make the family proud. For my mom, who never let me out the door without my homework. For my dad, who worked the night shift to make our lives better.
Play 3 up. Spotty.
For myself, for my future.
In America, there exists a sport that is driven by the fans. They are why everyone works so hard, on the teams and at the tracks, in front of the grandstands and behind the scenes, to give the fans the greatest race possible. NASCAR fans deserve the best, starting from the high banks of Daytona, all the way to the shores of California, and at every race in between. NASCAR fans, you're the reason for our success. Thanks.
Next on the Dukes.
I've got to see him. It's real important.
What can I do for you? Surprise! Hooter's a daddy.
When she gets to know you, she's going to be so proud.
Ain't life exciting? The Dukes.
If you're a part of the Opry, it's a great part of your career. It's a real honor to be a part of this cast.
It really was a dream come true for me to become a member of the Opry.
Without the Grand Ole Opry, there would be no Music City, there would be no Music Row. It's the backbone of country music.
New stars, superstars, and legends every week at the Grand Ole Opry. Tickets are available. Call 615-889-6611.
The Grand Ole Opry is the greatest show on earth.
Summer will be gone before you know it, so don't miss out on all the fun and excitement of Opryland USA! Starting at just $189 per person, our end-of-summer packages include accommodations at the fabulous Opryland Hotel, admission to Opryland Theme Park, a cruise on the General Jackson Showboat, the world-famous Grand Ole Opry, and more. Room-only rates start at just $79.50 per person. Call 1-800-316-1316 for your end-of-summer vacation at Opryland USA.
Jeff Burton continues to lead under caution here in New Hampshire. So with Peerless Pride, we've got time to bring you Ray Evernham and Andy Petrie, the Peerless Faucet feature, brought to you by Peerless Faucets.
In 1991, I got a phone call from a good friend of mine that put me together with a little driver named Jeff Gordon. That guy was Andy Petrie. Andy, are you ever sorry you made that phone call?
Well, there's been a few times, yeah. I just, you know, I had to question that, but I'm really glad for you and how it turned out for you and Jeff to be together and be so successful.
Oh, thanks, Andy. Andy's got a new deal. He's not, well, I guess he really is a crew chief, but he's a car owner now. And he used to say that the crew chiefs make too much money, or he used to say the car owners make too much money. Now he says the crew chiefs make too much money. Who is it, Andy? Who makes too much money, car owners or crew chiefs?
Well, I think his crew chiefs make a little more than they should. You know, I kind of changed my tune a little bit after getting this new role, but, you know, I think his crew chiefs are a little bit overpaid now. You know, now I look back on it, you know.
Dale Jarrett's been back on the pit lane, and this time, Matt, they had the hood up.
Eli, they were checking to make sure maybe they had a plug wire off or something like that on the distributor. But as you can hear as the car left, it still has that popping missing sound on the 88 car.
Meanwhile, Terry Labonte chose to pit again just to top off the fuel tank. He came in at lap 197. David Green did the same. Well, you never know. 2 laps after they were last in, Terry says, let's just top it off here at lap 197. Trivia quiz question, guys. Got time to think it over. We'll talk about it as we go to green here.
Green.
40-car starting field, and we came here back in 1993 for the first time. Okay? How many of those drivers are still in the very same seats as they were just 4 short years ago. We've got time to think about it. We'll watch the race unfold. We've got some time. But the 40 cars are in the field here for the inaugural 93. How many drivers are still in the same ride just 4 short seasons later? Mull it over. We'll talk later on. If you get it right, we'll give you a picture of Dick Berggren or something. I don't know.
Wow. No, that's if you get it wrong.
Oh, a little smoke out of Kenny Wallace. Kenny Wallace smoking right there in the 81 machine.
That's the right front corner of that car. You can see it smoking very badly. I hope he knows it, because it won't be long before he meets Mr. Wall if he don't.
Hill's in 19th spot, Kenny is. The 24, Jeff Gordon, he's in 34th, 2 laps down.
Eli, do you see what's happened there on the 81? It rubbed the tire until he got the rubber worn down till it didn't rub anymore, and now it's quit smoking. So it looks like Kenny will be fine. He's going right along.
There's Dale Jarrett just scuffling out there now. He's running out there by himself. Last car in line.
Valuable points going by the wayside for Dale Jarrett.
Yeah, he is 17th on the scoreboard right now, but he's the last car in line on the racetrack and being pulled significantly. But Jeff Burton is the leader. There's your second place battle. Rusty Wallace and Ernie Irvan. Earnhardt is 4th. Schrader is 5th. Bill Elliott is 6th. Mark Martin 7th. Grissom is 8th. Great battle there for 2nd.
Well, if you want to know where the 28 car is strong, you've seen him pull up on the 2 car there. And when he started off the corner, he put a full car length on Rusty Wallace right out of the corner.
And the fans rise.
Whoa,
here
look
goes
at him.
Earnhardt. Earnhardt won 2nd.
Well, will today be today? They've been waiting for Earnhardt to win one of these things. It's been over a year. He looks awful good here today at New Hampshire.
That's for 2nd place.
Wow.
You can see Ernie getting very, very loose on the outside there. Earnhardt's keeping the pressure on him. That's the first car I've really watched on the outside that's able to maintain his speed through the corner. As you can see, Earnhardt's going to make him earn every inch that he gets.
And Irvin doesn't want to get too far out. He said this morning the worst thing that can happen to you here is to get out in the marbles. Look at the fans. They love it. 2 very popular drivers here at New Hampshire. Rusty Wallace in the deuce, sitting back watching all this. Saying, okay, guys, do what you're going to do. Just don't take me out if you get too crazy up there.
Oh,
wow.
Earnhardt was right against that left rear corner. So they start off in the corner. Ernie Irvan shows a lot of muscle there.
That's all 2.5 seconds behind the race leader, Jeff Burton. All right, breathe now. Trying to post his first win as Earnhardt since March of 1996 in Atlanta. Larry McReynolds. Sunglasses there, middle of your screen, looking on. Of course, he was the winning crew chief here last year when Ernie Irvan got the win. 95 laps to go. MCI bringing you NASCAR timing and scoring. 16 cars make it 17 on the lead lap. Jarrett being in 17th position.
It'll take at least one more pit stop. Get this thing done.
Barry Labonte came in to top off at lap 197. He still have 103 laps to go from that point.
The green car there, Kenny Schrader, is really running very well. You see him on the inside there trying to make a move on Craven as they head down the front straightaway. Schrader's still holding on to 5th and doing a great job today.
Elliott in 6th spot. The number 94 card. Boy, if he could ever finish a whole race without having something go wrong. I mean, think about it. The carburetor problems he had, the fender at Michigan, you name it, everything has happened to Bill Elliott. And all he needs is to go all the way, and he's going to have a real good finish.
Ricky Craven is not battling him for position there. Ricky is a lap down at 20th. You've got Derek Cope, who thought I'd have a really good run here this weekend. There he is in the Skittles car. He's in 21st. He is battling Craven in the 25 for position. And Cope is pitching his wagon right there to Bill Elliott. Mark Martin is in 8th. Grissom in the Kodiak car, that white car with the green numerals and lettering. Just ahead of him, that's the battle for position. Grissom is 7th. Jeff Burton, the Texas winner, continues as our race leader here. 92 laps to go.
50,000 people saw it happen. It's the nation's top demolition derby. Last car still moving, wins it all. The way to win, protect your engine while hitting the other guy with your rear. One driver's ramming the other car's head on. He loses his radiator, his water supply, his oil, but his car cannot be stopped. He has Duralube.
Without Duralube, hey, we'd probably be sitting with the rest of them.
Duralube protects your engine like no other product can. Independent tests prove it. Duralube, tomorrow's technology today.
Every once in a while, something comes along that is truly different, truly unique. Presenting seating for 150 adults, 30 times the cargo space of a Jeep Cherokee, and equipped with 120-wheel drive. What is it? It's 30 Jeep Cherokees, and one of them could be yours. At Hardee's, we're giving away a Jeep Cherokee every day for 30 days, plus millions of other prizes. Just buy any combo for your chance to win. Only at Hardee's. What will they think of next?
The Pontiac Firebird waits. 305 horsepower comes to life. Ram air induction turns air into fuel in a rush. Firebird, you're ready to fly.
Where do the best drivers go to get a head start?
Morning, Jeremy. Morning, Jeff.
Kmart, because our car care department stocks only the most performance-driven batteries around, like the new Excite NASCAR Select, the battery Jeremy Mayfield and Jeff Burton use in their race cars, the same one Mark Martin and 21 other teams put in their cars. So if you want the official battery of NASCAR in your car, you better get into your nearest Kmart. Chances are, there's one just around the corner. NASCAR Performance, Kmart low prices.
TNN Motorsports live coverage of the Jiffy Lube 300 is brought to you by the legendary Firebird Trans Am from Pontiac. And by Kmart. Get the Excite NASCAR Select battery at Kmart. Welcome back, everybody. There's the race leader, Jeff Burton. He won a NASCAR Busch Series race here in 1992. Knows and likes this racetrack. And he's got a comfortable lead on second place Ernie Irvan. Now the lead is significant, but Ernie is sounding, the car kind of sounds a little sickly out there, Glenn.
Yeah, he's picked up a miss. It started out as a slight miss, now it's constant. They don't think it's the same type problem, valve spring problem that Dale Jarrett's having, but he is definitely losing a little bit of power. But oddly enough, he's not losing any ground to Earnhardt right now, so the miss doesn't seem to be holding him up too badly, but he's sure not going to catch Jeff Burton with the missing engine.
And there's Dale Earnhardt running in the third spot ahead of Rusty Wallace fourth and Kenny Schrader fifth. Matt Yoakum has been keeping atop a story in the Earnhardt pits today.
Eli, we talk so often about how fast pit stops equates to track position on the raceway. A good look here at Dale Earnhardt's pit stop the last time in. Everything looks normal. Earnhardt brings the car to a stop. Jimmy Elliott on the right front. Takes the tire off, puts the tire on. He knocked the lug nut. It fell off the wheel when it hit the stud. He picked it up, put the lug back on by hand. Earnhardt's got in the way. But that extra split second that it cost that lug nut, that allowed the 28 and the 2 to get by him on the raceway.
All of the teams have those little cameras. They film all of their pit stops to see how they can improve. There's John Andretti, last weekend's winner at Daytona. Look at what happened to him a moment or so ago.
You see him coming off the corner, drifting wide into the outside wall there. Those black marks on the wall, what that equates to is really messing up the steering on the car, or if it hit on the rear housing, it could actually knock it out of line.
That was chipper and nipper being left on the wall there, I believe. Andretti running in ninth, though. And if you're curious about Dale Jarrett, there he is, still on the lead lap in 17th spot. He's kind of out there, documented already. What they suspect is a valve spring problem.
Eli is less than the straightaway, though, of getting lapped now. Jeff Burton has turned it up, and he is really flying. You see him coming right there.
And there is Jeff Burton right there. Wow. 218 laps of 300 completes. Only 2 retirees, Brett Bodine and Randy McDonald.
How do you get this equipment to these troops when there's a river between them? Build a bridge. Problem solving. You need it now in college. Learn it now in the Army Reserve.
All that you can be.
It happens every year in some of the most remote stretches of land in Mexico. And in the world of off-road racing, it's truly the whole enchilada. The legendary Baja 1000. A mountain of dust for those who can stand to eat it. And the end of the line for those who can't. That's why more drivers who challenge the Baja rely on the Duralast battery than any other. The same Duralast you can rely on in your car, because it's the one we stock at AutoZone. The Duralast battery. Power you can depend on.
It's an Eldora weekend getaway on TNN. Get ready for another wide-open dirt-slinging clash for cash. Catch the greatest show on dirt as the Pennzoil World of Outlaws tackle the High Bank Half Mile at Eldora Speedway.
Check this out.
It's the Eldora Clash on TNN Motor Madness, Friday night at 8 Eastern. Then Saturday night, there's more live sprint car racing with the Kings Royal at 9 Eastern. And it's all on TNN, the Nashville Network.
This broadcast is sponsored by Featherlight Trailers, the official trailer of NASCAR, CART, IRL, and a major sponsor of the NHRA. Remember to call Featherlight for all of your trailer needs at 800-800-1230 or 319-547-6000. Winnebago Industries, the official motorhome of TNN. Stop by your local Winnebago or Itasca dealer today and see the new models available. For more information on the Winnebago Motorsports team, please call 1-800-643-4892, extension 2. And commercial transportation for this broadcast has been provided by Ryder, the official transportation company of Opryland. We are live at New Hampshire International Speedway.
If you want to know what Bobby Labonte's car looks like from the underside, this is a great camera going down under as you see him going down the back straightaway into turn 3 here. Watch how even sprung these cars are. Watch the back give just a little bit, a little side sway there, putting a lot of pressure on the right side tires as they head down the front straightaway.
We're riding with Jerry Nadeau, looking forward towards Bobby Labonte.
They try to set them up so they run as flat as they reasonably can, try to transfer a little weight here or there in the corners, but you can't really pitch too much weight to the right side. You'll just cook those right side tires.
Well, somebody better tell them that.
Bobby Labonte running in 28th. He's a couple of laps down. Jerry Nadeau now 3 laps down and 35th, the man with whom we're riding right now. Battling for position, Johnny Benson in the 30. Derek Cope in the 36. Of course, the bookends there are Jeff Bodine in the 11th position in car 7, and Ricky Rudd, who is 12th in car number 10.
Eli, as a general rule, we were talking about the lean in the corners and the
like that?
Yeah, exactly like that. Whoa. Tell you what, I don't need to talk about lean, do I?
Just look and watch.
Right in front of Jerry. Take advantage of that. Boom, in he goes.
Anyway, what I was talking about is the general tire temperatures are like 200 on the right side, 160 on the left side. That's the difference in the how much heat you generate in the right side tires compared to the left side.
Scoring rundown being brought to you by Napa. At Napa, we keep America running. There's Kenny Schrader battling things for 5th. He's in 5th. Bill Elliott is at 6th. In the McDonald's number 94. Steve Grissom in car 41 is 7th. Then you've got the lap machine of Kenny Wallace, who is being shown a lap down in 18th. Watching all of this with us here in the booth right now is our Grand Marshal for today's Jiffy Lube 300, the governor of the great state of New Hampshire, Governor Jean Shaheen. Great to have you with us this afternoon.
Well, it's wonderful to be here, and it's great to have NASCAR and the Winston Cup in New Hampshire.
You know, I know that one thing you well appreciate, as do most elected officials, but I think particularly in this state where tourism is such a major part of your platform. You know what racing is all about and what it means to the state.
Well, that's right. It's a tremendous boost. We've got about 90,000 people here today for this race, and most of them are going to stay for a little while and have a good time in New Hampshire. A lot of them bring their families, and it's just terrific for the state.
I know the Bear family, Bob and Gary, have always talked about the kind of cooperation that they got from the state, not only in building the track, but dealing with widening roads and the traffic flow now that is as good as you'll find anywhere at any big track. And that's something the whole state had to get behind the project.
Well, that's right. We're very happy to have the Bears here. They brought this speedway, and it's, as I said, been a terrific economic boost. Today alone, they've got about 1,200 people working this race, and so that's great for the economy of New Hampshire.
Well, Governor, it's certainly great to be with you here today, and we look forward to being back the weekend of September the 14th with the second event of the year.
Yes, we're delighted that you're coming back, and we hope you stay for a long time.
Always enjoy. Great to see you, Governor. Thank you.
Nice to be here.
The Honorable Jean Shaheen, Governor of the state of New Hampshire. And I'll tell you, the state has turned out beautifully. You talked before, bragging on the air, as you heard about how beautiful the Granite State is at this time of the year or any time of the year. There's Kenny Schrader. He's still running in 5th. Bill Elliott in 6th, right behind him.
Well, one of the most beautiful things to see in that September race is going to be the prize money, over $2 million for a race on a mile track. Not bad. Bob Bear knows how to do it. I asked him this morning, I said, how come you pay these guys so much? He said, well, they deserve it. Schrader having a great run today in that number 33 car. Started on the pole, ran up front all day. He's just spot right now. Bill Elliott behind him.
By the way, don't want to go too far without giving the answer to our trivia quiz question from before. Have you guys jotted it down?
I have the same seat I had 4 years ago.
That you do, but that's not the answer. Of the 40 drivers who were in the field here in '93, only 5 are in the same seat today. Darrell Waltrip, Dave Marcus, Dale Earnhardt, Mark Martin, and Jeff Gordon. And of that list, taking it a step further, only Earnhardt, Martin, and Gordon have the same sponsorship. You think back to '93, Davey was still in the 28. Dale Jarrett was in the 18 at the time. Ricky Rudd was in the 5 car for Rick Hendrick then. Sterling was driving for the Cipolla brothers. Who else? Bobby Labonte was in the old Maxwell House colors in those days. Things changed big time in just 4 short years.
You know I knew that.
I knew you did. There's Jeff Burton going around Dale Jarrett yet again. The lead is 3 2/10 seconds. Yeah, you can smile, Jeff. He's trying to get his second win of the year.
In racing, the engine is everything.
What? It's the driver.
A driver will never see a finish line without a great engine.
The greatest engine will never see a victory lap without a great driver.
At least they agree on Haviland Formula 3 motor oil, the same oil you can buy right off the shelf. And also try Haviland Extended Life Antifreeze.
The engine's the first thing with the finish line.
Not in Indy cars.
Got a car, but need a new engine? Come to Pep Boys for over 1,200 quality engines, car or light truck, import or domestic, all with a 12-month unlimited mileage warranty. And you can charge it on your Pep Boys credit card. Pep Boys, everything but gas.
There are the NASCAR Winston Cup points as the day began. The Haviland Formula 3 motor oil points. Haviland adding more life to your car. Things will shuffle. No doubt. Jeff Gordon running in 33rd position right now. And there's the race leader, Jeff Burton, who has an advantage of better than a couple of seconds now. On second place, Ernie Irvin. Dale Earnhardt is 3rd. Rusty Wallace 4th. And Kenny Schrader 5th.
Burton started in 15th spot today, picked up the lead in the pits. He was one of just a handful of drivers who on the last round of pit stops took just 2 tires. That put him up front. Glenn Jarrett, let's hear some more about the pit stops.
Well, they're already starting to talk about it, Dick, right now. Most of the guys are saying that from 25 laps to go on in, they'll have to stop. Nobody that I have talked to can make it all the way. Every one of them are going to only put a splash of fuel in, just enough to get them across the start-finish line to take the checkered flag. The only people we've heard talking about changing tires are Ken Schrader, he has talked with Andy Petrie, and they were talking 2 to 4 tires. Once somebody stops in front of them, though, and they see him take only fuel, I have a feeling they'll go the same route.
There is the Schrader-Elliott-Grissom battle. That's 5th, 6th, and 7th on the racetrack. And Andretti right behind him also in that mix. He is running an 8th spot. Mark Martin being 9th, and Joe Nemechek is 10th. Matt Yoakum, you're also following the same storyline.
Eli, we've talked about how tough it is to pass on the raceway. Dale Earnhardt's laps are actually a little faster than Ernie Irvan. But because they're so close, he cannot get around him. So he's just sitting back riding because they're going to have to pit for fuel at about lap 287. 3 to 3.5 gallons is all Chocolate Myers is going to have to put in the 3-car. Larry asked Dale about 65 laps to go. He said, tell me how good the car is. Dale said, the car's pretty good. If I take this baby to victory lane, it'll give me a pretty good one, won't you? He got a lap. He said, yeah. So they're planning on a pit stop about lap 287 for just a splash of gas.
Eli, the one thing I wonder about, if Ernie Irvan is indeed having a problem with the engine, when they stop and put 4 tires on these cars for that last run, if Earnhardt is indeed a little quicker, will he overhaul him for that spot?
Good point. We'll have to find out as it plays out, with Irvan in 2nd and Earnhardt in 3rd right now. Lap 243 this afternoon, just flying right by.
Did you figure, buddy, with better tires on the car, that motor problem would make it worse for Irvan?
Well, it won't make it in, I mean, it won't run any worse, but what will happen is Earnhardt with fresh tires with a strong motor will really put it on him.
What are you hearing from Ernie's pit, Glenn?
Well, they're saying that the engine problem hasn't gotten any worse. I talked to Mark Reno just a minute ago, and he said Ernie hadn't said anything else about it, so it seemed to have stabilized. But remember, most of them are not planning to change tires. Rusty Wallace and Robert Pemberton just talked a minute ago, right after I made that report. They were the ones that first said they were only going to take fuel. Now they're talking about taking 2 tires with 30 laps to go. But remember, Rusty complained about his car being very, very loose on the 2 tires he put on. But most of the other guys, just a splash of fuel and go. No tire change.
Boy, I tell you what, we've already looked, and new tires seem to help on the right side. It takes so long to dump fuel, then change those tires in 7 seconds on the right side. I believe that'd have to happen.
Why don't we sneak away quickly before pit stops begin, and we'll come back to cover them for you. Lap 245. The leader is Jeff Burton.
Where do the best drivers go to get a head start?
Morning, Jeremy.
Morning, Jeff.
Kmart, because our car care department stocks only the most performance-driven batteries around, like the new Excite NASCAR Select, the battery Jeremy Mayfield and Jeff Burton use in their race cars, the same one Mark Martin and 21 other teams put in their cars. So if you want the official battery of NASCAR in your car, you better get into your nearest Kmart. Chances are, there's one just around the corner. NASCAR Performance, Kmart low prices.
Hey, Annie. Hi. Love the hat.
Ugh, I need it. My hair's a disaster.
Look at my dandruff. That's easy to take care of with the right shampoo. Here.
With regular shampoo, flakes can keep coming back, but Head & Shoulders helps eliminate dandruff and helps stop flakes before they even start. You may never see flakes again. And your hair?
My hair looks great. Thanks.
Don't forget your hat. Who needs it?
Head & Shoulders changes dandruff problems into beautiful hair.
This week on Motor Trend, we present the 97 Import Car of the Year. Plus, we'll look back at the hot Dodge Charger RT. Motor Trend Television, today at 5:30 on TNN Motorsports.
Turn on to CMT Showcase and see how the guys in Sawyer Brown keep each other right down to earth.
We're basically an egoless group of guys in the effect that you know, if anybody got a slightly swollen ego, the other 4 guys would laugh him off the bus.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and we just don't have time for that.
Turn on to Sawyer Brown on CMT Showcase. Today, 3:30 p.m., 2:30 Central.
Hi, I'm Rick Benjamin. Join us tonight, 10 o'clock Eastern for Race Day. We'll wrap up a full weekend of action at New Hampshire International Speedway on TNN. Busch North Cars, the Modifieds, and, of course, Winston Cup. Also, the Busch Series from Myrtle Beach.
Race Day, tonight, 10 p.m., 9 Central on TNN Motorsports.
Welcome back, everybody, as we ride with Darrell Waltrip here at the New Hampshire International Speedway. DW being shown a couple of laps down, and there's Joe Nemechek. Joe being shown in 16th spot. He's got a problem on the racetrack. Flat tire. So Joe Nemechek, problems in the Bell South number 42. Pit stops are beginning. We're at lap 251. Bobby Hamilton is in for service. Here's Joe Nemechek. Sterling went by. Whoa. Joe manages to save it, but he'll limp back around to the attention of the crew. We're at lap 252.
Hamilton took 2 tires and fuel. Whoa.
Look at the left rear there. Yeah, a definite problem on the left rear of the car. You can see it smoke. It's rubbing the outer fender now.
He's got to come in to get that fixed.
Too bad for Joe, running in 16th on the lead lap. Told you Bobby Hamilton was in moments ago, Glenn.
Yeah, and he's having to pit early, Eli. Phil Holman with Goodyear came out and told me that Bobby's got a sway bar rubbing, is broken loose, and it's rubbing the inside of the right front tire, so they can't go as long as they normally would. Also, it might be a good idea for those guys that are going to change tires to go ahead and pit now so that they can get some, more laps utilizing that fresh rubber on the racetrack. We're hearing now from Joe Nemechek's people that they think that he has a broken axle. Tough break yet, a great run going.
So that's the update from the pit lane as Jeff Burton continues to lead. We told you in our pre-race show that we would continue our chat with the Bears, and we wanted to talk to Bob Bayer in particular about the North Wilkesboro Speedway and its future. He's a part owner there.
There's really nothing new. We'd love to have a truck race down there and, a bush race. But we got a partner down there who I think thinks different than we do. I mean, I'm not knocking the man, but he knows, I guess, doesn't want to do anything at this point.
Of course, the partner being Bruton Smith. And they just wait together to see what the future is of the North Wilkesboro Speedway. They are black flagging Joe Nemechek now. There you see him at a greatly reduced speed in the Bell South Chevy.
Well, Eli, if he has a broken axle, he just has one wheel pulling, and it's probably the left rear. You could see it a while ago, just touching the throttle, it lit up. I thought it was rubbing your fender, but apparently it's, no, that's rubbing. I don't care what they say.
So there, lap 256 of 300. Jeff Burton continues to lead, but there are pit stops yet to come.
They call me the Intimidator. When I'm cooking, I'm unbeatable. Give the folks what they came for. Give them their money's worth. I'm friendly. Just don't cut in front of me.
Feel the wind changing direction? Cars and trucks like the Pontiac Firebird and the Hummer. Monsoon, power, attitude, audio for the road.
Your heart's pounding, adrenaline's pumping. They light you up, and you go.
We asked some of Hollywood's hottest stuntmen to switch antiperspirants and try Degree.
What's body heat activate? Probably means when you get warm, that it starts working.
As your body heat rises, Degree releases extra protection when you need it most.
I heated up, and it cooled me down. I was on fire, and I was dry.
I don't want my guys to see me sweat. This stuff kept up, even in 40-foot high fireballs. Dry as a baby.
Body heat activated Degree. Your body heat turns it on.
Let us lift our eyes toward the challenges that await us in the next century.
They shape what we say and what we feel.
They teach and inspire us. They rise to power and fall from grace. They are who we see when we look in the mirror. Our idols, our demons. And now they've got their own network. CBS Eye on People, available on cable and satellite.
Brought to you by Gladiator and Universal Luxury Bands, the official bands of tracks, teams, and drivers throughout the NASCAR world. Call 1-800-445-2825 for a dealer near you.
We are back at New Hampshire International Speedway. You're looking there at Bill Elliott in car number 94. You've got Grissom just ahead. Schrader is there as well. Good battle for 5th, 6th, and 7th spot. In the 33 case, Kenny Schrader, last top 5 finish was back at Darlington when he finished 4th in September of '96. Steve Grissom, the best of this year, was a 10th place finish at Texas. So those guys doing awfully well. How about old Jeff Bodine? Got to give Jeff a call. He's running in 10th with all of the restructuring they're going through and all of that stuff. There's the QBC car number 7. He's up to 10th spot now.
And they changed the motor this morning. They put the qualifying engine in it. This crew has put everything they possibly can into it, and Jeff has hung tough through the troubles this year. I tell you, you got to respect this guy and respect the men on that team as well.
33rd spot is where you'll find Michael Waltrip driving for the Wood brothers. There he is. In the 4 races here, the Woods have 3 top 10 finishes. May not be today, but normally, Matt, they're awfully strong at this racetrack.
Yes, they are, Eli. We talked a lot about guys who began their start in modified racing. You cannot leave out Glenn Wood. He was a terror on the modified trail in the 50s. He even won 4 Winston Cup races at the old Bowling Green Stadium. He retired in the early 60s. His son, the co-crew chiefs on this car today, Eddie and Len Wood, they didn't have the driving desire. It skipped a generation to Eddie's son, Jonathan. He's 15 years old. Last December, he won the WKA Junior Go-Kart Championship. That's for the entire country. Last night, Eddie chartered a plane because Jonathan was racing in a national event here in New Hampshire. He chartered a plane, left last night after happy hour, flew to the track, and guess what? Jonathan finished first. He's only 15 years old. You better bet, lay some money down. This kid will be in a truck or a push car. Well, he's got to get his license first, but you bet 20, 21 years old, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Eli.
It sounds like it. There, Michael Waltrip just tagged the wall you saw there coming off of the corner. And by the way, speaking of the Woods, there's Leonard Wood. Of course, you know the story. His wife was tragically killed in that car accident on the way home after the Winston. But Leonard told me today that his daughter, Beth, went back to work on Monday of last week. She was injured in the accident. And Leonard's granddaughter is back in summer school, preschool. She went back there on Monday, so thank God everybody's coming along now, those who were hospitalized after that accident. There you see second place on your screen. Ernie Irvin in the 28, Dale Earnhardt in the 3.
Well, we talked about this. Ernie's having engine trouble. You could see down the straightaway that Earnhardt was just a little bit better.
I'll tell you though, Glenn, Ernie did a heck of a job to stay there that long.
Oh, he did, Eli. The car is handling great, and it's a real shame that he's having that kind of problem. He reported about lap 258 that the miss had gotten worse, and that's exactly the time that Earnhardt started closing in on him. So he's just trying to hang on now and salvage the top 5 out of this.
There you see Earnhardt.
You know the position he's looking for. After this long dry spell without a win, Earnhardt is thinking position number 1, and that's it. Second won't do, third won't do. It's got to be a win.
Let me get the clock on it here. From first place back to Earnhardt is now 7 4/10 seconds. Jeff Burton has nearly 8 seconds on Earnhardt, and there is Jeff Burton right there.
And you know what? I wonder, he took 2 tires on that last round of pit stops. Well, what would happen on this next round? Can he get away with no tires? If, let's say, Earnhardt decides to go with no tires, can Burton do the same thing? Or will he lose out because he took only 2 tires last time around?
Or will he have a big enough cushion? It don't matter. Then they can change tires and still maintain.
Well, how about the guy who has 45 wins as a crew chief, Buddy Parent? He's the man who's going to ultimately make that decision. You don't find one a whole lot better in the pits. Buddy Parent has 21 wins. with Darrell Waltrip, a couple with Richard Petty, a couple with Derek Colt. 19 victories as a crew chief with Rusty Wallace, and it's going to be Buddy who'll make that eventual call.
And trained by Harry Hyde, and everybody knows that man was one of the smartest guys that ever turned a wrench on one of these race cars.
Well, crew chief for that number 3 is pretty bright too. You know, 22 wins to today's race.
Larry McReynolds. We'll all find out soon enough. Only 30 laps to go. I mean, this afternoon has flown by. We had a 5-lap caution that flew at lap number 1. Then we were green until lap 193. We had another quickie 5-lap caution. Now we're green since. All right, pit stops are beginning. Kenny Schrader's coming in as you watch the race leader. Kenny Schrader is in at lap 207. There you see Buddy Parrott on the left, Jack Roush, the team owner, on the right. They're figuring out their numbers. Meanwhile, Schrader's in. Glenn?
Yeah, he pits with 29 laps to go, Eli, and they're going to the right side. They need enough fuel, and he's down and away. Wow, good stop. 2-tire change and fuel, only 9.0 seconds.
Now remember, you've got Jeff Burton with already a 7 4/10 second advantage on the next man in line. With those kind of numbers that we just heard about, you can come in and do your fuel and do those times.
Absolutely. Ooh, I'm glad I don't have to make those kind of decisions. That's why I have Buddy Parrott down there. He's exactly what Ray Evernham is to Jeff Gordon. He thinks like a racer, and he is a racer. He's been in it all his life.
Crew chiefs earn their money in deals like this. All the effort that's put into preparing these cars, these next decisions about what to do on this round of pit stops could well make the difference between winning and something else.
Are we 100% sure that what Buddy Parrott was calculating there was maybe not a pit stop, but could he go 105 laps to the finish from their last pit stop? What are they coming up with down there?
And Buddy, we saw you talking to Jack Roush. Can you tip your hand? What's your strategy at this point?
I wish I could understand what you're saying. I can't understand a thing. All I know is Jeff Burton driving his tail off. The Exide Battery Ford is doing a great job. Jack Roush is coaching me up here. And we're going to stop a splash of gas and be ready to go, man.
We take any tires?
No.
So there you got it. Just a splash of fuel. Can't go 105 laps on that last pit stop. But no tires.
Wasn't even a discussion. That was just an emphatic no.
25 laps to go. The lead now just 5 seconds for Jeff Burton over Dale Earnhardt.
Some of the most admired cars you'll see are owned by the guys who know cars best. ASC certified master mechanics. And the #1 brand of motor oil they use in their own cars is Valvoline, makers of Durablend, the leading semi-synthetic for a cleaner engine due to better control of harmful deposits. So use the oil the guys who take care of your car use to take care of theirs. People who know use Valvoline. Take the wheel on the new Valvoline website. It's worth the ride.
Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, Sylvia.
There's fresh coffee, Steve. We got it under control.
TLC, adventures for your mind.
Some things are obvious from the start. Like, things turn out better when you work together. That's why the UAW International Union and General Motors Corporation got together to create programs to improve skills and safety, to educate, to promote teamwork and build better quality cars and trucks. Assembly line to finish line. Teamwork wins.
When you're looking for the place with the best for your car, when it's quality and service you need.
When Ernie Irvin needs a top quality replacement part, he knows who to call.
Professional installers trust the Federated Auto Parts Pros.
Get to the motivated, celebrated, Federated Auto Parts.
Trust the Federated Auto Parts Pros.
A-rated, gold-plated.
Federated.
Federated Auto Parts. All across America, you're there to see us through.
Racing engines endure severe stress, and your engine does too. That's why under severe service driving conditions, Jiffy Lube recommends service every 3,000 miles. And we offer Pennzoil.
3,000 miles, you make us smile. America's Jiffy Lube.
Jiffy Lube, America's favorite oil change.
20 laps to go as you look at the New Hampshire International Speedway. The aerial shots brought to you by Federated Auto Parts Stores. Professional advice, brand name parts. We have seen pit stops for Mayfield, for Kyle Petty. Bill Elliott's been in. Ricky Rudd is on the pit lane. We have seen pit stops for Andretti, for Kenny Wallace, for Sterling Marlin. Rusty Wallace has been in. Hutch Strickland has made his pit stop. We're at lap 281 now. There's Ernie Irvan back in the third position.
And the only teams who have taken tires so far have been Bobby Hamilton and Kenny Schrader. Everyone who has come in since then has taken fuel only.
If you're a Joe Nemechek fan, he's back on the racetrack 26 laps down. He's in 40th position. Only 2 retirees today, Brett Bodine and Randy McDonald. We're at lap 282. Johnny Benson pits. Jimmy Spencer pits. As you watch Ernie Irvan in third. Behind him in fourth, Steve Grissom. What a superb day that Grissom has had. Dale Earnhardt is in second. You see Ernie right of your screen. Let's pan forward to Dale Earnhardt right there. Now the separation between the race leader, Jeff Burton, and Dale Earnhardt, it had been at 4 seconds. It is now 6 seconds. As you see, 6.677. And here comes Jeff Burton. The race leader is on pit road. He took the lead at lap 196. We're at lap 283. Steve Burns will watch this quick stop.
All the pressure is on Big Jim Gilbert, the gas man. Jeff comes in a little bit hot. They're going to put in maybe 4 seconds worth of gas. They do, and he's gone getting by Mike Skinner to Matt Yoakum.
Oh. Steve, the 99 and the 3 car nearly hit or touched on pit road. Danny Chocolate Myers put in the gas, and Earnhardt is down and away. Let's go back upstairs.
So the lead swaps around here. Ernie Irvan takes over the top spot now at lap 284 as the race leaders came in. And that post-quarters racing there on the pit lane, that was breathtaking. We'll take a look at it again here in a second for you. Bobby Labonte making his pit stop now. We're just 15 miles from the finish. Let's go back again and look at what happened on pit road as Jeff Burton was leaving. Oh, the heck of reflexes by Earnhardt. You saw Musgrave tucking in there as well in the middle of all that. Mark Martin is on the pit lane, Glenn.
Yeah, and he didn't stay very long. I got him at 2.85 seconds. And also, Steve Grissom pitted the lap before that. He was only in for about 3.5 seconds. So they're just putting just a splash of fuel in, just enough to get by. I don't know that everybody here has gotten enough fuel in these things to get them to the end of the race. It's going to be interesting to see on the last 2 laps. Some of these guys may run out.
If you're a Jeff Gordon fan, he is a couple of laps down, running in 17th position if you're just joining us along the way. Here comes Ernie. He will yield the lead right here. So Ernie Irvan will make his stop with 13 laps to go. He's in at lap 287. Darrell Waltrip is in as well, and Terry Labonte is the leader. There's Norman Koshimitsu, the fuel man, the gas man.
When he nods like that, that's it. He's got enough in it. Ernie stayed a little longer than Norman wanted to see him stay.
But it's a good job there, Glenn. Norman handled it cleanly.
He did, and he stayed about a second longer than the other guys have. He's certainly got enough, but the car was really sputtering and popping when it's in here, so that miss definitely getting worse on the 28 car.
Norman Koshimitsu, the gas man on that 28.
Yeah, a 7-time All-Pro, voted by by his peers to be the best there is at what he does.
Now there is the race leader, Terry Labonte. Remember, when everybody came in at lap 197, Terry came in at lap, everybody came in at 195. Terry came in at 197. He topped off that fuel cell. Terry picking up 5 bonus points now. First time he has led this afternoon in that Kellogg Chevy.
I'd like to see what Gary Dehart's doing right now. They may try to stretch this thing. Terry Labonte gets great gas mileage, we all know.
Again, everybody pitted under caution at lap 195, including Terry Labonte. Then Terry came in again at lap 197. So there's a 2-lap pad there. There you see Jeff Burton. He is in second spot, Burton is, even with that fuel stop.
I wonder how far you stick your neck out when you're that far up in the points.
We'll find out.
We sure will. Labonte's had some great runs this year. Second in the Daytona 500, second last week, second the week before. Hasn't won in 1997. So far.
Terry Labonte is the race leader. Burton is 2 6/10 seconds, 2.8 now on the electronic clocks. This last time by. Jeff Green, and here comes Labonte. Here comes Labonte. Jeff Burton will re-inherit the lead. Matt Yoakum.
Eli, they were not going to gamble. Gary Dehart said, bring it in. We only need between 3 and 4 gallons. We're just going to give him a splash of gas. He hits the mark perfectly. Down and away. 2.7 seconds. Good splash and go.
So they've done what they had to do. But Burton is the leader now as Terry Labonte makes his stop. And there is one of Jack Roush's teams. If you're with us on the pre-race show, we talked about Jack and with Jack Roush about the successes he has and how multi-car teams for him and all of his ventures over the years have been the way to go.
This is the newest team of the Jack Roush bunch right here. And I tell you, Jeff Burton has drove flawless all day long. I don't think I've seen him out of shape one time.
6 top 10 finishes in the last 8 races. There's Dale Earnhardt in second.
Gary Nadeau has just taken his car to the garage. Almost made it to the end.
Jeff Burton at this racetrack in NASCAR Winston Cup competition. He has finished 37th, 38th, 25th. But last year he finished 4th. He's trying to win it today. What was the final deal on Jerry Nadeau there, Glenn, as Dick said he just went to the garage?
Yeah, it's too bad. He had a good run going. He was getting some good experience, guys, but he lost the brakes. He came in and looked like the brake line had burst on the left front because the inside of the wheel was covered with brake fluid. It was smoking pretty badly, but Jerry went to the garage area with no brakes.
Dale Jarrett pits. Morgan Shepherd pits. All of these are scheduled stops as you see the leader. There's Kim Burton. Again with that worried look on her face and the tears that we saw at the Texas Motor Speedway. Reappearing here as she checks the scoreboard. 5 laps to go.
She's going to get used to this stuff, I'll tell you, because her husband's going to win a whole lot of these things. Look at that.
What a shot.
Isn't she wonderful?
That's what it's all about.
Yep. She's so committed to him. Nice to see they're a great couple.
We told you Jeff Burton won here in the NASCAR Busch Series race in 1992. Made his first Winston Cup start here in July of 1993. Matt Yoakum, I know there's a lot of emotion down there in the Exide pit.
It sure is, Eli. You know, for Frank Stoddard, a win today would be extra, extra special. He's from the Northeast. He worked on Stuff Madden's car. He even worked with Jeff Burton when Jeff drove Sam Arndt's car earlier in his Busch career. He said, you know what? Loudon is special to me for 2 reasons. A, I'm from up here, and B, I met my wife here. He goes, I kind of cruised her one day during a Busch North race. Her dad drove one of the trucks for one of the Busch North teams. I didn't know what her name was. I found the girlfriend, got her phone number. I called her up at college, talked to her for 3 hours. The first 45 minutes, she had no idea who I was. But you know what? She sure did later on. We got married a year later. So that's special, and a win today would be extra special. We put a lot of emphasis on this race. friends and family up here.
Here comes Jeff Burton to the stripe. At 298 on the board. This race has had just 2 quick cautions. The fewest we'd ever seen here in New Hampshire was 6. That was in 1993 and 1995. We've erased that mark today. We'll have a new record speed around his brother Ward Burton at the 22.
Right about now, he's sitting there. He can hear every moving part in that race car. It's his race to win right now.
White flag for Jeff Burton. The first career win at Texas. We told you in pre-race coverage that no one has earned more points this year on a super speedway than has Jeff Burton, and no one has shed more tears than has Kim. Half mile to go. Checkered flag in sight. Jeff Burton wins the Jiffy Lube 300. Dale Earnhardt close, but not quite. He'll come home in second. Rusty Wallace will finish third. A super run for Steve Grissom. He'll come home fourth. And another Jack Roush car for Mark Martin coming home in fifth. Kim Burton and Jeff are heading to victory lane. As there you see John Andretti in the 98 and Robbie Gordon in the 40 getting together in turn 3 as the race ends. You see Andretti moving in the car. Gordon pulls away, but it is Jeff Burton and wife Kim who are going to victory lane.
How do you get this equipment to these troops when there's a river between them? Build a bridge. Problem solving. You need it now in college. Learn it now in the Army Reserve.
Be all that you can be.
There's a certain amount of pride that comes with doing it yourself, and Peerless makes it easy. So go ahead, let everyone know. I installed my own faucet this weekend. I installed a Peerless, the do-it-for-yourself faucet.
Now at Pep Boys, get any 4 of our 35,000-mile all-season steel-belted tires at an incredible low $99. That's right, any size, any 4 35,000-mile tires, just $99. At Pep Boys now.
When we decided to have a baby, we knew we had to stop smoking first.
We had the motivation. We needed the help.
We chose Nicorette gum because it was flexible. Gave us the choice of 2 strengths, one for light smokers, me.
One for heavy smokers, me.
And the power to decide, you know, how much to use and when to use it to fight our cravings.
We've been officially smoke-free for a year now.
And in gratitude, we're thinking of calling the baby Nicorette. It's a joke, honey.
Nicorette gum will help you quit smoking successfully by helping you control your cravings. You can do it. Nicorette can help.
There is a sport as American as the automobile. It's a sport that never went on strike. And when its players want more money, well, they just get out and race for it. For these reasons and a million others, millions love it like no other. The Die Hard battery salutes the Die Hard race fans everywhere, as dependable and true as the name itself.
There's a medical emergency, but no hospital. What do? Build one. Leadership. Learn it now in the Army Reserve. Use it now in your career.
Well, victory lane celebrations about to begin. Second time this year we've seen that from Jeff Burton.
I told Kim, his wife, to smile a little bit. Now I got to talk to Jeff about how to handle that Gatorade when he crawls out of that car. Come on down here, buddy. Great job, and what a great race car you had under you today.
Well, these guys, man, I tell you what, I got a hell of a race team. This is, it's only a year and a half we've been together, and to get 2 wins and be as competitive as we've been, just says a lot for this race team. They work their butts off every single week. They don't ever take anything for granted. Assume they're going to come and run bad and work like hell to prevent it, and that's all I can ask for.
Well, Jeff, I talked to Buddy Parrott this morning before the race, and he was awfully confident. Told me he thought you guys had the car to win the race. Were you that confident going in? Did you know that this could happen?
I knew we were awfully good. Buddy talked us young whippersnappers into doing something yesterday, Friday afternoon, and we did it, and it sure paid off. You know, we got a lot of young, really good young guys, and And Buddy heading it up just makes it that much more special. He's that much experience you can lean on, and we use it to our advantage every chance we get.
Congratulations again from all of us at TNN. And Kim, smile for us. Give us a smile there. She's so excited, Eli. She doesn't know whether to cry, laugh, or just to hug people. So take it back up top to you.
All right, thanks a lot. Meanwhile, in the garage area, Matt Yoakum has caught up with Dale Earnhardt.
Dale Earnhardt, another second place. You get out of the car smiling. Good run for you.
We had a good race car, and Spinny did great in the engine department, him and Danny and all the boys back there. And, you know, the car was a brand new car, and I was really proud of the guys that come off the truck running good and should have qualified better, but the Earnhardt Syndrome didn't get them around the racetrack for quick enough, but had a good smooth lap. But good smooth race all day. The car just performed every lap just the same, and we did fine adjustments with air pressure and everything, and the car just stayed consistent. I'd like to thank Goodwrench and everybody concerned. You know, the Burger King, Snap-on, all the folks, they've been behind us so long we hadn't won a race yet. But we're going to get them, guys. Just hang in there. We'll get them.
Did you have anything for Burton if you'd gotten a caution?
Well, we just, you know, I think we could have raced him. I don't know if we had anything for him, but I'd like to have a chance to race him.
But this Laughlin car that he has today, they're taking it to Indy for a test on Monday.
That's the second place finish for Dale Earnhardt at New Hampshire. He finished in second back in 1994. Now the Miller Pit Crew winner of the race. There is Buddy Parrott. Miller Lite invites you to sit back and enjoy Miller time with Buddy Parrott, who has picked up career win number 46 as a crew chief. Now, John Andretti, he's already out of the car. That's a cleanup that is going on up there in turn 3. Here's what happened as the race was already over. The checkered had already flown. You see Andretti, you see Robbie Gordon. And when we left you, we thought that Andretti was maybe ticked off at Robbie Gordon or something. But here, after John got out of the car, he waited for traffic to go by. And John was yelling at Jeremy Mayfield. Jeremy gestures back, and then actually Robbie Gordon gave Andretti a ride back to the garage. So at least visually, the complaint that Andretti has is with Jeremy Mayfield. He accepted a lift with Robbie Gordon back to the garage area. Lots more to follow up on.